agree with
Hey people, up. Good evening. Good evening. Good night. Good morning.
Blessings to the chat.
Tonight hours, you know.
All right.
Titans here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man, we are here. And tonight, me I tell us I'll be a scorch, a fire.
What do you mean?
Some things over the last 24 hours with Andrew Holness. And we see little sperm whale, them what we call minions, run out. And we see the MOCA run out to Byron and lied.
Yeah.
Run out some little foolishness. And we have to question them ulterior motives. Because
Exactly.
I like nobody and them think they, Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation are the largest in Jamaica and are the richest. And then them are running for 8 years. A guy named Feder, may I tell you some things that were it's unbelievable. And I know more can reach there. Because them get 80 million over pay, 80 million, them see 80 million. Plus other things, I think them are deal with corruption. And I know them still not reach. But them reach at St. Catherine one and gone down in Westmoreland now. Because Andrew Holness, Markie G, yesterday the prior thing, Markie G, I tell you, say, you have to pray for the IC and them want something like that to get rid of corruption.
Exactly.
Corrupted. Andrew there. And by the way, he not have no manners. He not have no manners. But we could start this thing and start beating them because Titan have no time for waste,
No.
So we could get the show started. Yeah, brothers?
Definitely, brother.
Yes, man. Titans, no two way about it. 1 a.m.
Start packing because you are going.
You not pack yet.
Yeah.
You not pack yet. Yeah, man. So we're still thinking that developing at 24 hours, right? I'm going to still, we're talking to Unity, we're talking to them, Mocha, but we're soon run out today. We think we're going to have something legit on them thing. Now, remember in a Byron?
Yes.
We hear Strike 5 says she have some unfinished business. So we want to ask Mocha if this is the unfinished business. Because I remember them are talk to she and them are, because care what you do, it will go through the DPP. So I'm more like Strike 5 and the one of them run up and down. I do a thing named fishing. So we have to go straighten them out, brother. We have to straighten them out. Yeah, you see me that's right.
Yeah, man. Have to. We have to get into the meat of the matter.
People, we're going to start from yesterday. They developing 24 hours. So we're showing the Mark Golden, you have some hypocritical pastors where you have a little bird beak one day where I talk about, you Judas! That one, them aim a big up Holness, I talk about Holness, I do this and Holness, I do that, Them fake, Them fake. So, we are about them, because we don't know foolishness. We don't know foolishness. No matter. We name the Titans. But we see them where I call them out. Because them destroy the place, Keep on using poor people. I try to brainwash them. I take them money. And then I say them a pray for me. The country better, for better. If me have 1,000 and then me have to throw it in a half friend. And when me take feed me picnic, I'm not work. And then you pray for me. If you don't, you just give me a prayer for me better. You know, make me better. You make me picnic them hungry. You think I eat that one there? You can't even put me on. Only if you stop it, man. You understand? Church should do better in Jamaica now too. We're not playing with it. Make us start from this now. Make us say Sir Mark Golden presentation at the prayer conference or what they mark on the day of prayer. Because say Sir Mark Golden speech and then we're gonna look upon Andrew Holness sitting. And then we see draw out the contrast because Andrew Holness have no manners. He have nothing. But I'll show you how Mark Golding, the Prime Minister in waiting, very soon. You know, how him conduct himself. I know Andrew Holness, I know him don't acknowledge the opposition leader. It's like a country around when fees are film with the 21%. And him fees them can just do anything at all about mark, like your mark a size. If you go to, you know. You too out of that, man. You know, have no respect, man. Hear this, watch this.
The previous meeting, sir.
Thank you very much, Bishop Conrad Hitkin, Most Honorable Prime Minister, Bishop Dr. Delpha Davis, Reverend Courtney Gordon, Chairman of the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches, all the other church leaders who are on the platform, my parliamentary colleagues in the audience, His Worship the Mayor of Kingston and St. Andrew, and Swady, ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, I feel the Spirit of the Lord in the house. What a great day, what a wonderful day. What a way to bring in this new year of 2025 for us all to be congregating here to worship the Lord and give thanks and praise in the mighty name of Jesus. Heal the family, heal the nation. Our nation is in need of healing. And it is only through the power of the Almighty God that we can achieve the healing that we need. I want to give thanks and praise to the Most High God for bringing us a new year, for bringing us through 2024 and into 2025, alive and here on earth, to continue to try and do His holy works. I want to say how indebted we are to all our public servants, our police officers, our firemen, our teachers, our nurses, our soldiers of the Jamaica Defense Force, our civil servants, all those who serve the people of Jamaica day in, day out, making sacrifices, putting in the effort, putting in the work. May God continue to bless all of them, all of you, in 2025. May God bless our leaders. May God bless the Prime Minister and the Ministers of Government. May God bless the Leader of the Opposition. And all the opposition parliamentarians. May God bless all leaders in every area and realm of our society. In the private sector, the business leaders, the leaders in civil society, the leaders in the church, the churches, the leaders in every walk of life, and all the good followers, those who make the work of the leaders achievable. May God bless each and every one of us. May God bless the great institutions of the country that keep the society together. May God bless the Integrity Commission that leads the fight against corruption in the land. Because corruption is a scourge against the will of God. And institutions on earth that fight against corruption deserve our full support. I want to say to each and every one, let us continue in a spirit of hope and in a spirit of unity to bring our country together, to make Jamaica a better place for all of us to live in, for our children and our grandchildren and generations to come. We are a great people. We have many challenges, but there are no challenges that we cannot overcome if we embrace the righteousness and the Word of God and put God in the center of everything that we do. I want to close by thanking the organizers of this 5th National Day of Prayer Service for putting it together, for bringing us all here. I want to thank the musicians who are doing a great work in support of our singers. I want to thank everybody who has made this a great day. And I have to travel to other parts of Jamaica today, so I won't be able to stay. But I want to say how good and how pleasant it has been to have been with you this morning and to have felt the power of God in this place. I thank you, and I wish each and every one all the very best for 2025. May God bless us and keep us. Amen. Thank you very much.
The prayer, they have prayer, you know, and the Prime Minister and waiting the stark in mind, you know. And Andrew, let me show you Andrew. Let me show you our next picture when you see Andrew sitting on the way to make God bless the commission. Look how Andrew look like. Look how him go. Look here.
That keep the society together.
Watch him.
May God bless the Integrity Commission that leads the fight against corruption in the land.
What's the corruption now? What's corruption? Corruption, yeah?
Because corruption is a scourge against the
start
will
the
of
people.
God. And the institutions on earth that fight against corruption deserve our full support.
Good. Good.
Lonzo,
Yes.
you know, listening to this just a while ago,
Yes.
right, show you a Mark Golden, a great potential leader that have vigor and vitality and confidence that he trusts forward. When I listen to this, as it relates to what Mark Golden appealed to, for moral order, right, and ethical behavior, you can see that as it relates to Andrew Holness, if he could suck himself away, right, disappear by his will, he would have. It shows you as a result of, and let me say this to Jamaican people, how surgical, strategical, and professional Mark Golden was in terms of that speech, right? The professionalism is that Mark Golden acknowledged everyone in the space, everyone, and greet everyone accordingly. But while doing so, a breath of fresh air to the Integrity Commission investigators who have been suppressed by the government, who have been bombarded with false and blame and accusation. Mark Golden, with that speech, provide a breath of fresh air and hope for them. You know what Mark Golden is signaling? Right then and there, Mark Golden was signaling that his governance is going to go parallel with the Integrity Commission as it relates to transparency, integrity, and most of all, accountability. Now, put Andrew Holness in that space, a corrupter, a scammer, someone who is 100% pure evil. Trust me, his heart crunch. It's hard, crunch. And I like how Mark Golden polish it in a very professional way, right? It gives that sort of rendition, right, to the atmosphere, right? Now, the thing about it is to show you the level of, that sort of pain corruption has caused the Jamaican people, right? And when we say corruption, we are talking with confidence, right? Because we have the evidence as it relates to the high level of corruption. We have the evidence. We have the evidence. And we 100% guarantee and sure of the evidence of corruption. We are not eating out on the Prime Minister, right? Because we don't like the Prime Minister. We are eating out on the Prime Minister because the Prime Minister unleashed evil upon the Jamaican people. The Prime Minister, right, tricked the Jamaican people in voting for him and that he will deliver them, right, out of the bondage of high inflation and out of the bondage of suffrage. What the Prime Minister had done, right, was eagerly wanting to put more pressure on the Jamaican people and suppress them, right? But we caught up with the Prime Minister with evidence, tangible evidence. And let me say this. All of us in Jamaica know, right, that the DPP cannot save Andrew Holness. And I want Paula Llewellyn to listen to this. Paula Llewellyn, no matter how you try, you will not be able to save Andrew Holness as it relates to the level of corruption that Andrew Holness administration involved in, right? Now, and corruption is going to reveal. We are going to reveal it to the Jamaican people, right? So I am saying to the people, right, just prepare, right? We have a lot more to come, right? And trust me, it is going to come showering down, right? Like a torrential downpour, right? As it relates to the level of corruption when we ready to expose them. And we are going to expose them. And I heel back for our next Titan.
Yes, Lady.
Yes, my brother. Boy, may I tell you, when I look at Mark Golden standing there at the, altar, so to speak, because he was in the space of a church, the environment, and, how he presented himself and his speech in such an articulated manner, which shows the high level of intellectuality that Mark Jefferson Golden possesses. And the speech was so in keeping with the occasion that it was like listening to a RDN pastor bringing the message of peace, love, and hope to his nation. So I'm just saying to Jamaican, who took the time out to listen to the presentation of the 5th day of national prayer and make their own comparison as it relates to the two men that, are the men that we have in line with running Jamaica. The Prime Minister did not acknowledge the leader of the opposition, but the leader of the opposition frankly acknowledged the Prime Minister, and he didn't waste any time in acknowledging the Prime Minister. And he went through and he blessed all the, various groups of people that work tireless to make Jamaica a society. The police, the soldiers, the PSOJ, the teachers, the nurse, even civil society from all walks of life. So that just goes to show the moral compass of both men. And Mark Golden has demonstrated himself in such a profound manner that even my heart was touched by his speech presentation. And I know many Jamaicans felt it as well. But what did Andrew Holness came and did? He came and read a manuscript. That was not his own words to begin with. And after that, he went into his comedy mood, laughing and giggling and carrying on as if that's a part of the mission of the occasion. The mission of the occasion was prayer for the nation. Not comedy as usual, not PR. He was, in a mood of giggling, disrespecting the leader of the opposition by just frankly referring to him as Mark, my friend. No, I want Andrew Holness to know that Mark will never be a friend in the way that you are, proposing him to be. Mark will acknowledge you because he's a man of principle, a man of dignity, and a man of integrity. So he will make sure know that he recognizes your office and you as a prime minister. And he also, extend his blessing to the prime minister, member of parliament serving under his stewardship. And he also extend the message to his MP serving as the opposition. But Andrew Holness was just all into a zone because he was not there in spirit and in mind. He was just there merely in his body. Because Andrew Holness cannot take the heat coming from the people and the IC. And when he heard about, corruption, I sure know him want to sink through the flooring of that building. Because that's not something that Andrew Holness like to hear about, corruption. Because he's into corruption right up to his neck. So, Mark Golding was very diplomatic and very respectful of the occasion. And so, as I said, I'm here far away from the land, but I felt the message and I felt it with the utmost respect. And I know the message was a message that was delivered from the heart and soul of Mark Jefferson Golding, not manuscripted by someone, as Andrew Holness' speech was manuscripted. And so it didn't contain much substance. It was flat, it was dilapidated, and it was a show of comedy. And I yield back to another member.
Yes, man. All right, let me play the Andrew now, and him we call it, what we call it now? We call it, what kind of speech now, Andrew? Because we call it speech, we call it Cameroon speech. We could play it.
I've been to possibly more than 10 of these events. It's been a little while. And it is always, for me, the best way to start the new year. Allow me to acknowledge Reverend Portney Gordon, chairman of the Jamaica Umbrella Group of Churches, and other leaders of the faith community.
Of the faith community.
Locally and internationally, who are attending this event.
So just locally and international who attend the event, but Jamaica no have no opposition leader. This guy no have no manners. This a patakat front and we no have no manners. And we have to deal with him with accordance. Same way, you can't have no manners. So we now pet him on here. You hear him? The leaders, them in the church, both locally and overseas, but not the opposition leader. We call him the most honorable and just respect the office. Respect our office. And pray for him to say, I pray for the Prime Minister. In turn and call him Mark. So I'm seeing that just hear this.
And to you, the important people in the room.
And you, important
the people who make it happen.
We make it happen. Why the criminal thing?
As we assemble for the 5th gathering of the National Day of Prayer, and we also mark the 19th year of the Heal the Family, Heal the Nation service. This is now a fixture on the annual calendar. And as I said, I've been to about 10 of these. And it has reached the point where no leader dare misses this.
Watch him. Mark name, look on him, look here. Mark can laugh for him up. Mark, look on him. Me have a thing
And
with
I
Mark.
say it that way because my friend Mark has somewhere else to be.
My friend
So
Mark.
he may have gotten wind of something and he has to run off to some other part of the country. Right, Mark? I too have to go to another part of the country. Not for the same reason that Mark is going to another part of the country, but I have to attend a funeral of a dear friend. But I could not miss this. And the difficult thing is that both events are within an hour of each other in terms of start time. So I do have a tight schedule today, but we will make it happen. This is important. Important to the nation. That we assemble and ask God for his blessings for the new year. So as we assemble for the 19th time, I extend God's richest blessings to you. I
Read, look at now.
For a productive year for all of us. I pray for your good health.
Them give this, look at.
I pray that you will be hopeful.
I pray, look now.
That you will have peace. And that prosperity and victory will be yours.
And victory.
This occasion is always a perfect way to begin the year, bringing us together as a nation under God's grace and guidance. I hold this event close to my heart, and I look forward to it each year. It serves as a powerful reminder of the strength and unity we derive from our faith and the importance of seeking divine guidance and direction for the challenges and opportunities of the year ahead. I deeply value the prayers and reflections shared here, which inspire not only personal renewal, but also a collective commitment to healing and uplifting our families and communities throughout the nation. Your theme this year, the hour of decision, with the scripture reference from Joshua 24, 1-17, reminds us of God's unwavering faithfulness in guiding, protecting, and providing for his people. It calls us to make a deliberate choice to serve him wholeheartedly, rejecting distractions and idols that compete for our devotion.
I'm at the idol and the people. Continue.
Joshua's leadership and bold declaration: as for me and my household, we will. This sets a powerful example for all of us to lead by faith and inspire others in our communities.
So if Andrew lead by faith and inspired by community, can't lead by Andrew faith in the people. That I make you use the finger them too much.
And indeed our families to follow the words of Joshua. As for me and my household, we will serve the Lord.
God said, Andrew, that is bull crap. That's bullcrap. Your take, Byron.
Well, thank you for that, Lonesome.
Yes.
Now, honestly, when it comes to all of us, right, as it relates to people who believe in honesty and integrity and morals and ethics, right, listening to Andrew Holness, right, it's a scourge to our heart. And let me say this.
Yes.
Andrew Holness, right, who is asking God richest blessing, right, and prosperity and victory for Jamaican people, right? We all know it is fake. We all know it is fake. While Andrew Holness is asking for blessing, right, prosperity and victory for the Jamaican people, it is Andrew Holness administration, and this is sad, you know. It is Andrew Holness administration, right, who had found themselves guilty in nepotism, cronyism, skullduggery, breaking the rules of law, right, disrespecting the Constitution, breaching procurement rules throughout most of his ministries. And under no other government, none, that we have $3 trillion unaccounted for.
True.
So then while he is praying for prosperity, right, and victory for the Jamaican people, his administration put Jamaica, right, in a place of stress, in the living wilderness. Many homes, right, in Jamaica can't even able to afford a good night dinner as a result of Andrew Holness' administration. Can't. When you look and see the level of corruption that permeated through Andrew Holness' administration, Andrew Holness makes sure that he covers himself over 19 agencies, so there's no criminal activity can take place, and Andrew Holness is oblivious of it. Right? We have seen the level of corruption so plain and so clear. Andrew Holness reached a stage that Andrew Holness is not making any effort to hide.
Definitely.
Because he believes that he has a DPP can protect him. I keep on saying that SSL bear many of the skeletons.
Yeah, man.
What are they doing with that report? They're sitting on it. Paula Llewellyn, let me before Paula Llewellyn bring out her action where the SSL report is. It is the SSL report that Paula Llewellyn wants to crush.
Yeah.
A report that Paula Llewellyn wants to crush. The SSL report, right? We can't know who are the persons that Crawl and Fit recommended to be charged. At this current time, relating to Pantan.
Yeah.
Right? Now, Pantan came out and publicly, right, stated that she was, forced to say what she said. And no one looked to receive what Pantan is saying, right, and put cross-carry under the microscope.
Yeah.
The thing what is wicked and cruel about this slide, when you look at it, And let me speak plain as a black man. As a black man. And when you hear the hypocrisy of a Warmington speaking that no white man is going to come and rule us. And he's stressed on that. And the party double down. Right? In talking about backcrop. Jamaica, wake up. Let me make you wake up. It is the Jamaica Labour Party administration who planned with you, Croskery, who is a white man, who in charge of SSL, a white man. So here are the black men.
Yeah.
And who are the black men who plan with you, Croskery? I am not going to mince my word tonight when I see the level of wickedness.
No need, my brother. Just go ahead and beat them.
Holness, Ardley Shaw, Nigel Clark, plan with the white man. Right? I am talking specifically to you, Croskery, and his family, and particularly his son.
Yeah.
Mark Croskery. You, Croskery, and Mark Croskery. Right? These are the black men. I want Jamaica to wake up. The black men in the Jamaica Labour Party who is eating out on Jamaica, saying that Jamaica must not put a white man at the helm of our political process, identifying Mark Golding as a backcrop.
Yeah.
But it is Jamaica, right? The black men in the Jamaica Labour Party, right, that planned with Croskery to do what? Take away the black men monies.
So true.
Tonight. Let us get that out of the way and make Jamaica understand what is going on. It is Andrew Holness. It is Nigel Clark. It is Ardley Shaw who planned with you, Croskery, and Mark Croskery, the white men, to take away the black men money. Over $5 billion.
Yeah, man.
Let us speak truth to power. And that is one of the reasons why Titans personally has to pursue this for justice for the black men. You know, we are not in the hypocritical business. It is these black men in the Jamaica Labour Party administration, and for anybody who wants to eat green, sleep green, and shit green, me I talk to them tonight.
Good.
After.
You need to open your eyes and look. Bolt, who had worked and toiled hard. Many morning, that Bolt had lost sleep. Sleepless days and sleepless nights. Bolt who brought the entire country on his back. The entire country. Lift up Jamaica. Put Jamaica on the pinnacle of success as it relates to track and field. And when you look at that, and if a Jamaica Labour Party administration can take him down like this, I have sympathy for other people who put their money as well. But I'm not only speaking about both, but when you look at the contribution,
yeah,
the level of contribution in putting Jamaica forward, Andrew Holness disrespect that.
Byron, don't move from there, sir. Don't move from there, sir. So, I'm going to just fling in the mix-up when you talk. I'm going to fling in MOCA now. Because the whole MOCA supposed to be an independent body, coming like, you know, the FBI, America FBI. And you deal with corruption, and you see Andrew alone get back $143,000 US. get an account open. You see the living corruption in front of them. But no big dirty thinking more. Remember when I said we know our jobs are. You notice when we attack, you know. We can't must be around us. We when I cheap when I not chatting with them, you know. But yes, still them run out. Not even for bold sake and the other rest of people them sake. Them keep silent.
Yeah.
Yeah? Someone you just fling that in it now because you just say bolt.
Yeah.
And this now him serve the country. I mean him raise the flag for the country. And the rest of people them lose. I'm gonna say big dirty thinking Mocha, Jarrett. Now say Jarrett with green and him is a big dirty thinking caterpillar.
Right.
Yes? Run out. And everyone go at said country municipal corporation today. I say, you know, some and not them they have never it's not even a case. Some irregularity they might investigate. But tell me what, Kingston and St. Andrew, the biggest corporation, have more irregularity. Over 80 million overpaid. To the same feather and him concubine and who want to spend money by run and lie.
Yeah.
I know, we not hear nothing from MOCA. FID and none of them. But you still run over this because them get harder, you know. Federal abuse. One go up and get some people and put in there and make it PMP and thing because election will come. So this big dirty thinking one, when you Jarrett him run go down and hey, but I'm on you out straight, you're a piece of shit. Yes? Put in the board for the Byron with the dirty thinking MOCA and FID.
But
dirty thinking check because she a pass a ditch too.
All right.
All right. Good. Go on.
You know, when we're up on the highway, we reach 120, right? When we get drug back, you know, you understand, we start over the engine again.
Bill up back.
Momentum again. But watch this now. And we're right because you understand, we're going to interject that.
Yeah.
Right, because we have seen selective justice. But Wayne, let me say this, to Melting Pot. Come in, say, you understand? Now, prep up for Melting Pot, come hammer them with the sledge. You know, watch this now. Wayne. So we attack as it relates to mash down the narrative there. You understand when it comes to Bagawaya. Because a Bagawaya never born in. Yeah, burn out Bagawaya, you know. Where is Bagawaya? Is nowhere to be found. Bagawaya who sold out Marcus Garvey. You understand? So here is Andrew Holness. We just find them, you know. We just find Bagawaga, Andrew Holness, Hardly Shaw, right? And Nigel Clark. Bagawaya them. Who want people to understand that, you know. So watch this now. So when we have and look and see that the man who talk about prosperity, the man who talk about, you know, asking God to give Jamaican people prosperity and victory. Andrew Holness, you have already have prosperity and victory. We have seen the victory. You understand, as it relates to $470 million running through, you understand, the banking system. So now, I'm lick Mocha now.
All right.
Lick Mocha now. And let me teach Mocha how to investigate. So Mocha, let me ask you a question. I'm going to ask you a question, Mocha. We know you are in receipt as it relates to what the IC investigated, $470 million, right? Through the banking system. Have you, Mocha, investigated the banking system as it relates to the source of funds? Because Andrew Holness cannot explain the source of funds. You understand? To the Integrity Commission investigators, right? So then, when we have the bank laundering $470 million through the system, and we're not going to stop this up. I'm not going to stop there. BOJ, come here. Let me ask BOJ a question. BOJ is supposed to see the inflow of cash through the banking system, right? And they're supposed to tender as it relates to their appropriation account.
Yeah.
Right? So these things are not being questioned. Now, if me and Wayne and our Melting Pot go to Jamaica, right? And said we have $1 million Canadian or US or pound right? The banks are going to question us as it relates to the source of information. How do we come by this money to get into the system? They need to explain the source in the system. That the source is not laundering money and they mix up in the money laundering. How did Andrew Holness? Right? And not only that, you know, not only that in terms of, you understand where Mocha need to look. Remember, SSL alone, let me take time to speak to Mocha. SSL alone responsible for $5 billion in losses. How was that money able to move? Come on, Mocha. Since you expose yourself, you are going to expose. And let me say something. I am not eating out, right? As it relates to the rank and file members, because we know what Andrew Holness done, you know. So we are not speaking to the rank and file members. So if the police officers who are listening to me are rank and file members, please excuse yourself. Because we know, say, you understand, you are not the ones who are doing this.
Me could just tell them straight with you. Uno catch and uno.
Yeah, uno catch. All rank and file. Just catch and uno we are dealing.
Yes.
And uno we are dealing. And let me give up a big up, a special big up, you understand, to Rowan James, who fighting for the rank and file members. Right? So rank and file members, just catch. Now, I am talking to the gazetted officers who are working for Andrew Holness Empire. Remember Melting Pot, right? Now you don't call him a government, you call him an empire.
Regime.
A regime.
Regime.
You call him a regime. And I want to agree with you, my brother, right? So, vicious regime. So all of the ranking file, all of the gazetted officers who helping Andrew Holness to suppress the crime figures. Yeah, we know what's going on, you know. We know what's going on, Andrew Holness. Right? All the rank and file members, all the gazetted officers, right, who is instructing the MOCA investigators to pressure this and pressure that. We know everything what is going on with you. Now, let me give you a next thing that you need to look into, MOCA. Let me give you a next thing. Let me give you a line item that you need to investigate. You don't realize that SSL, $143,000 US, right? Dispatched from SSL into an account at NCB, where the Prime Minister 10 days prior to the money lodged into that account, the Prime Minister took out that account with $0. Mocha, you gone on there yet? Mocha, may I ask you a question? Have you begun any investigation in that? No. I presume no. Eh? Mocha, let me ask you a question. So, none of you here didn't hear Gene and Pantan. Only never listen to what Gene and Pantan said. When Gene and Pantan said, listen to me, right? Everything about the statement that I gave was false. I was coerced, right, by you cross-carry. So, Mocha, let me ask you a question. You don't understand, say, you cross-carry our history in the 1990s financial meltdown. So then, hold on. This don't make sense to you in terms of what Gene and Pantan communicated that it is cross-carry. Then, Mocha, you don't ask yourself the question that how could it that Gene and Pantan been stealing money from 2013 until 2021? And SSL internal system, right, don't catch on, right, to Gene and Pantan. Now, me.
Man,
yes.
tell them say SSL is not a bank, you know, so them do have the money there, you know.
Exactly.
in the finance.
Yeah, but SSL carry an internal audit system, right? And knowing to the fact that you, Carey, would have known that SSL flagged for misappropriation of funds, right? You, Carey, never knows that the misappropriation of funds continue up until 2021. None of you pursue you, Carey, until you, Carey, left Jamaica. The Jamaica Labour Party administration, let me say it again. Let me say it again. Make up with the white man. Make up with you, Carey, and his son, you understand? To thief $5 billion. I want to share it up. I want to share it up. Are the members of parliament involved? Why they not jump out when we talk? Why they not jump out when we talk? Them not hear it. We say are the members of parliament involved in SSL. Right?
Yes.
We don't make up. SSL was used as a medium for fund the Jamaica Labour Party campaign as well. Why they not jump out and say that? Jump out and say that. We have the evidence, you know. We have come out here, you know. When we say we have the evidence, I don't know, joke business, you know. We'll give you time. Right? Because let me say this, Jamaica, and I'm going to yield back. Andrew Holness, plain and simple. Let me say it simple. You're not going to get away with this. Honestly, you are just not going to get away with it. Other members of parliament, you guys are not going to get away with the corruption. Yes. The only thing you know, pray and depend upon, you understand, to see if you can win the general election. Let me tell you something. I'm not going to win. The Jamaican people don't do it. You understand? They know. The Jamaican people know that this is a criminal organization. This is not a real government. The government has gone rogue. Yep. It's a kleptocratic government. The government has gone rogue. As a matter of fact, it's a kleptocratic regime.
So true, Brother Byron.
So, let me just show you understand the sledgehammer to melting pot.
Yeah, man. Well, my narrative of Mocha, you know, is like a dog in your yard, you know, one of them tenement yard. But this dog don't have no teeth nor no tongue. Can't bark and it cannot bite. Because Mocha has been muzzled by Andrew Holness. Because Mocha them a handpick individual, you know, where this regime government assembled. So you have all CTAC too. Them not perform. But just go back to Corporal Rowan James. When he make mention of the fact say him now go stand here and make nobody Muslim. You see how them take offense to that? Because Corporal Rowan James knows that most of these agencies that should be supervising crime and corruption in the country has been suppressed and muzzled by the regime leader. So that's why he make that assumption. And that's why they took offense to it and put Corporal Rowan James an interdiction. So we're looking at Mocha now. Yeah? As it relates to SSL. And how they, you know, just catch and remain silent and never pursue such a big high-profile case. It tell you, say, these people are working for the regime. These are criminal activity that should be jumped upon in an instant. But they just sit back and catch because they're working for the regime. Just look how them go about education, former education minister, the cruel one when you Ruel read. Early morning down read. 7 hours. Take away a laptop and computer. What has happened since? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, because that was a stage early morning down raid because people was up in arms about the 55 million recruited rural thief from the education ministry. And in order to show some light on it, them stage early morning raid, that was a PR. That was not a proper raid conducted to pursue active investigation and to get to the meat of the matter. So we see the same thing in our SSL. Yeah, because no way Gina and Pantan can move 31 million US, you know.
Can never.
And the time frame from 2013 to 2021, don't tell me, say, Kraski, we are run SSL. Don't know, say, money are missing from him business over that period of time of 8 years. So what them do, after them rob the people, them, including the Icon, Usain Bolt money, them share the loot. We see where Andrew Holness get 143,000 US put in our bank account when hastily opened 10 days prior to the money going into it. And it opening a big top friend leeching bank with 0 deposit. People are want to understand me. 0 deposit, which is not an application for opening an account. So what we're looking at the case steering us in our eye, a case that exhibit the word fraud and corruption. So Mocha, if we outside of Jamaica can realize, yeah, all of these corruption, how you who are being paid as the professional agency cannot see from within Jamaica. Are you telling me that you also lost not only your teeth and your tongue, but your eye? Then you're not worth even being, looked at. So we have to call Mocha shit. Mocha piece of living shit. Not working for the citizens of Jamaica. Not upholding transparency as it relates to the rules of law when it comes to criminal activity. What Mocha is doing is collecting taxpayers' money for protecting the regime leader and his corruption and his counterparts. Because don't tell me that Mocha does not see all these corruption in front of them. Gina and Pantan cannot move 31 million US. And there's no way she would have done that and remain in the job. From she moved the first million because on the state said between 2013 to 2021. Well, let me tell you something. If Gina and Pantan get the chance, because we know she not do it, but just, once of reference. If Gina and Pantan get the chance to take just 1 million of that US, she left the job long time. She would be able to be in that job to take 30 more million. We know already what Hugh Croskery and his counterpart did in the financial meltdown in the 90s. And it's the same performance they act out on stage in the saga of SSL, where they garner a certain amount of asset as it relates to people investment. Yeah? Make themselves super rich and super wealthy and then decide to crash it because obviously the government will take responsibility of the debt as it was done in the 90s. But what we have this time, we have the leader of the regime involved. We have the Minister of Finance involved. You understand? Those two men are the two leaders of the country, the number one and the number two. So you know, this is a well-organized corruption coup that they carry off on the citizens of Jamaica. And for Mocha to sit back, how many months now? And, don't have a clue as to how to investigate this high level of theft and corruption, then what are we doing with MOCA? We don't need MOCA. MOCA must be deassembled, demolished, for a want of better word. Get rid of MOCA and carry through some high-level forensic investigation into these people running MOCA. Because, these people are, aligning themselves to a corrupt regime and also making sure that corruption remains the order of the day. Ruel Reid case is a prime example. Many more cases in Jamaica. We hear, ordinary citizen crying out to MOCA for help as it relates to some type of vicious murder being committed by the state. And they have never accomplished anything to satisfy Jamaican citizens. So we don't need MOCA, MOCA for just go one side. Yeah? Go one side. So when we soon run down a one little place over in a St. Catherine, what would I try to instigate? Like when I work? The big fish there, Kingston. Oh, no, go on a little river around there, so go and look for tiki. The big fish sit down in front of who in a Kingston with $473 million as unexplained wealth. Who no go after him. The KSMAC, where the most corruption take place in a, we not touch. A Kingston them there, who no BS. So a jar ride do not take when you no go on a St. Catherine, in a smaller council, where very few high-profile activity take place. The most high-profile activity them as it relates to the council, it take place in Kingston and St. Andrew. So stop come go on like so, no one draw all over Jamaican citizens eye and come out with a PR. Because we know a PR we not do on behalf of the regime leader. And we now go do no accreditation. We are going to burn on the street and run on the way out of the space. Because we not shit. And I yield back to another member of the panel.
Let me say something to you now, Mocha. I'm going to say something to you. Very disrespectful. Yes. Una action to the very disrespectful. And nobody no see it yet, I'm going to point out some things to you. I remember I saw some stay, we run as the Titans, right? I'm going to play the video with Mocha. I'm going to point out something to you, Mocha. Uno, I'm going to point out something to you. I'm going to ask you a question. Watch the video. Watch this. And listen to them, I'm going to point out something to you. Well, let me play it first.
Story. The major organized crime and anti-corruption agency MOCA carried out several operations across 3 parishes this morning. According to information, the operation is targeted at irregularities at a municipal corporation. Details in this report.
I want to take note now. Irregularities.
Yes.
Irregularities. Now, if you say 80 million overpay in a Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, you hear concubine, you hear catches are buy. Can you hear it, that a taxpayers money are buy catches, it turn in a back road, right? That are the one dirty thinking for them turn it in a back road, right? You see the Prime Minister place to build up so, you see corruption. You see the Prime Minister friend when the Water Commission, you see corruption. But I no more can move. If they ever go and say that you me, I'm going to work with me, I'm going to see what I'm going in there because of the people, their money. Them not do it. Just listen. Irregularities. Continue.
Municipal corporation. Details in this report. A significant joint operation involving police and soldiers at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation.
All right, just to plan this, you remember you have SWAT team. All right, people, let me tell you, let me point out what I talk about now. You now go for one of the clans are Shoba Passy. You go with the mayor there. and the councillors elected. Them the people vote for them, you know, vote for these councillors and everything. And you are carry this how Andrew Holness and the dirty thinking Mocha out of that. You carry SWAT, you carry soldier with hyper number one. Remember, you know, a politician them are in there now who are working as in a building, you know, brother and sister. Look what the man them carry. You are telling me big dirty thinking Mocha, I don't know. Let me tell you what them do, you know. Them a look something for that. Me tell you, them a work with Andrew Holness. Them a look something for Shaka and War. So when you call the soldier, SWAT team, this, pay a big gun, and I walk going at the building, you say, what is? See that thing say, some big old dirty thinking gang you go for now. Just you know, say them said, them not go for nobody, you know. Them a go as some warrant. What them say them a do? Execute some warrant?
Yeah.
And
irregularities.
This are more, hey, this, you have to draw them up for this. Because any police could have got there. You never have to even them white rifle or nothing. And in the municipal corporation, them are going, you know. The local authority for St. Catherine, you know. In the building, you know. I remember, you know, I know gang, you have to fight gang or nothing, you know. You are going there and like somebody have resist. And you know, say, I pay a big gun and run out pan you. And the man them carry a soldier by and what they say.
Yes.
But it's sure. This is a goddamn embarrassment, pan Jamaica. This is an embarrassment, dirty thinking Mocha, dirty thinking Feed, big nasty, dirty thinking Trek 5, because she a part of this too, you know.
Yes.
That's unfinished business, brother. So, you know, say them talk to her when she go there because them bring her back.
Yes, yes.
But this is more embarrassing than anything else you ever see, brother. Eh? This coming like when them tell me lie and them a go over there for the gang, over where them lick on the people house. Police, soldier, carpet, lay down, and not never go so. But this very embarrassing if you are going in a building like this. But remember, a local authority, you know, them get voted by the people, a local authority. And you are going to the building, not for arrest. But the amount of big gun with a soldier, it don't make no sense to me. This is totally, listen, them too disrespectful.
But, Wayne,
yes.
Hold on. Hold it right there, sir.
Yes.
And let us speak to Jamaica. And let us speak to Mocha. Mocha, I am asking you a question. Have you carried out a search like this in terms of pursuing irregularities when Delroy Williams was the mayor? That's the question I'm asking. Have you carried out a similar investigation pursuing irregularities when Delroy Williams was the mayor? I am asking a rhetorical question because I know that the answer is no. You haven't done that. But let me remind you, Paula Llewellyn, because I know say you the behind this, Paula Llewellyn. This is what we call selective justice. And to the fact that you have seen the level of political biasness and politics that play out, and this is the doing again of Andrew Holness. So I don't know which got him operating. I don't know which got him operating. So let me talk to you, Paul, a little bit. So then, to the fact that there was none of this as it relates to what MOCA had done, right? Under the flagship of Swaby. MOCA has not performed any duty in terms of pursuing irregularities when Swaby, when Delroy Williams was the mayor. Now let me talk to you now, Paula Llewellyn, and show you the same example, right, of your exploitation and your injustice and your political biases. Now, when Peter Bunting and Philip Palwell, when their guns were stolen, you, Paula Llewellyn, you are up and charge Peter Bunting and Philip Palwell. You remember that? So now let me shoot this now and show you your political biasness. So when Tam Tavares, Finson, lost 2 guns, when Agintai lost 2 guns, the very similar way as it relates to how Peter Bunting and Philip Palwell, right, guns were stolen. Why haven't you, Paula Llewellyn, pursue Tam Tavares, right, and Agintai?
Byron,
Yes.
let me put something to that. Them last them gone under different circumstances too.
Yes.
Regularly, hey, listen, people. Dark power father-in-law, they film yard. A man going the 3 o'clock in the morning and him lose 1. And by 10 o'clock the next morning, in the same morning, 10 o'clock. In a lose same time, nobody not touch him. And a breaking and nothing, him lose 2 guns. 2 different time. 3 in a house. And around 10. Agintai. Remember, if you have a license firearm and your wife drive up and down with that and it's illegal, yeah? And your son them have it and think they're not supposed to have it, and you have the license. Agintai, that means Agintai not supposed to take him going and go leave down and brethren, even if him brethren are not license. Them not license to him. If him use them, then illegal. If him with your gun license to you, you have to use the gun.
Exactly.
Okay? Him claim, because them gonna kill man, Him claim. Same leave it on him brethren and the whole 4 gun gone. Film 2 and them brethren 2. And now you know say nothing to them. Now say thinking track 5. Yes? So these are the things that we are see. I remember it documented. It's here. So if them even lose it from some strange circumstances, brother. You call it strange circumstances.
So what is now lonesome?
Yes.
What do you think Shrek 5 do now in terms of coming out back? Because of them frugal she want to continue now. Run
Yes.
good on a big mama. Run good on a poor rider. You understand? And I have interview, right? No, I am not politically biased. You know, remember, I am Paula Llewellyn, right? And you know which case she used to say that she's not politically biased? No, remember, Jamaica would have remembered that I was the person who signed on the extradition for Duduscope.
She have to sign it. Peace
Have to sign that.
Listen me. Woman, fuck off. Me tell you, say, when I
Make she never sign the extradition paper, then, no? Make she never sign that.
Hey,
You see that for the way him do. I'm US over here circle. Can't them not take him up too.
All right.
What she sign. So we
yeah.
are yes. You piece of shit, yo. But I think about man. Me tell you, what the fool so. I bet, woman, I bet you go zip up your mouth and fuck off, you know. He's a piece of shit. What a piece, yo. She doesn't say 2024, 2025 coming. I want you, man.
No, I am not political biased. You understand? And I use Duduscope case.
Hold on. She's a political bias. All right, let me answer that now. Let me answer that, Byron and Melting Pot. So, you're not political bias. So, from 2016 till now, Uncle Clansman alone is a gang boy. Yeah? Because if you have 2 big gang, yeah, you know, so we fuck them up, you know. So, if you have one other clans, and Uncle Clans alone, when they go to Babsy, she said, well, over 10 years, why everything is one order. We don't hear that over 10 years. You fucking liar. You remember you're the captain, you know. Don't listen. No, get you out, boy.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Yes, man.
Yeah.
Alright.
You fuck with them a chat, man.
Melting Pot,
Because the big old nasty thinking dirty strike 5. You understand? Because when she are coming, you know, I just political biasness to say straight, you know. You understand?
No. Tell me who's a gang. Tell me what if you have so much big gang, you notice in a peer where PMP, them feel PMP stronghold there. These big dirty thinking people. Remember, big dirty thinking catches bully will say catches. We don't look at female police, them are gonna Turk and Caicos. Remember, you know, when the money in Clansman, I said them well on. Say if we have to get rid of gang, so we're one other there. But the other way, so gang them there.
The stone crusher there.
Eh? Ungo one gang. the way them love Carl Bernard name that them the house also where Brownward sell the land them. And people have built up the house. Andrew Holness come tell us the way them love talk about a clansman them. With them big dirty nasty, big dirty thinking nose.
I know nothing about apologize, you know. I know nothing about apologize to the man. After I accuse the man them wrongfully, you know. I know him not come out.
Him not apologize to the gang clansman. Him don't apologize to the gang clansman, you know.
No, but hear this. Him don't even say, boy, they're not squatters. He don't even come and say it was no gang. And the woman that work with me, you know. But she never give me the money. She never give me, she take the money. She don't give me nothing out of it. So me things I know. So it get me mad. You fi tell me, you don't get none for chop. She say him a chop too much. So she call it this and I say, yes, I'm a boss, but me I forgot chop this. So him don't know about it. I should not get none, you know.
I sell and just use her and to sell the land, man. Because she couldn't just go sell them land, you know. At a one woman, you know.
Sell
she
what?
can't do it on her own. She know about the land through Andrew Holness.
Yeah, but you see, as she chop the land still, you know.
Eh?
You know, say she a chop it behind him back. He don't, you know. She that's why I can't never know say she a chop it. Yeah? Yeah,
she
man.
about the land, because she hear him plan for the land. So she just say, well, you know, me I go sell a couple lot out of this, you know. Because me around the boss and it's like he might enrich some other boy like real read, you know.
Yes.
And through, you know, me around him. He might do PR with me, with real read and the whole lot of them. She decide to get a food off of them land there.
Yes. But you know, Byron,
You know about the land through Andrew Holness and know what intention Andrew Holness did have for the land them. And she just sell a couple lot. You understand? That's why him can't go down alone some mistake. Why you think we can't hear nothing about the case?
no,
Because should have to talk certain thing, you know, and should have to bring certain thing to light. Andrew Holness them don't want that. So you notice fair thing is one of the hush case like Real Read.
Listen, that's why she said she have unfinished business. I let go let go. But if she let strike 5, I forgot strike 5 as long as we
I forgot. This DPP have end up a prison, man. Come on.
Let me tell you strike. So when we start something done, you have to go. Listen, we have to send you a prison a strike. You have to go to prison because you commit crime against humanity in Jamaica. You strike 5. You have to go to prison. You have to go. I want to send it on a GP. Because remember, you know, listen, a GP fit for you. When I say nothing.
Listen,
a GP.
You're not saying I got Fort Augustus. You're saying a
GP. No, that much about a GP of your prison. I mean, I have to tell you why a GP, but at this I make it she. Yes? GP between the line. I say nothing to no. Yeah, but what's my better than my life? When I said check 5, you have to go a GP. You have to go squat calf and use the same thing when they use down there.
Squat and calf.
Yes.
You have to go squat and calf.
Yeah, man. You have to go squat calf, man. And same squat and calf, you know, people. Squat calf. Yes. Yeah. Yes. So I forgot. See? Them not good. Them not good. So when she used the case Byron, that stupidness, because she's stupid now, something where she have to sign. She have to sign it.
Under the pressure of the United States. Hold on. But remember, you know, you draw out the case there. Remember at first, you know, they want to play hardball, you know.
Yes.
Like they didn't want to sign the extradition, you know. You understand? And all of that difficulty. You understand that then give United States, the United States fling down the pressure upon them. You understand? She can come use that as an you saw the woman disingenuous and wicked.
Fool, man.
Wicked and lie and corrupt. You understand? Because it is clear. You have Philip Palwell and Peter Bunting.
Yes.
Right? They're
things for them one than them two over the start. Me say the man them house no in a listen. You lose a gun 3 o'clock in the morning, brother. And then lose one again 10 o'clock. But you gotta tell me say nobody not stick you up them rob you, but you lose your gun, then walk out of your house. And then the other one, the other jackass one him now. Him give him friend the gun carry down him yard. So him claim. So him that couldn't be true again tie. You dirty piece of stinker to you know. Nothing no go so. None of the two of them, nothing no go so. Them figure out prison for that. She not charge them not even a cent.
But Wayne, by the FLA, because I know the FLA line. Watch this now, Wayne. Based on even what Agentai said in terms of his explanation that he took his firearm, right? And he brought it to someone else to have it stored, if that is what he's saying. From the moment, right, he handed over that firearm to somebody who is not licensed to use that firearm is it automatically becomes illegal possession of firearm in that position, in that person's position.
No. So them forget charged for that.
In terms of his defense.
Brother, them have to get charged for that again. Me say if you have your wife and she have your gun, it's illegal. And your kids, right, because you're not licensed to them. Much less me take over my yard with my firearm and go give it to my friend. Just put it down the leave. Me not have none of them, just go give him the two and with film two and then the whole of them gone. People can steal them and you don't find them back now. You tell me now. Eh? Them to stop this man. Strike forever for go home, brother. It's a need for go home. So I'm finish play this phone now. I'm finish play this. I'm not gonna hear this. But as I said before, brother, you see when you see the no man, this is a total disrespect. You are go, remember these people people vote for them, you know. Them get elected. You understand?
Exactly.
As council, them get elected, right? Yes. Because they have to run for council. I mean, not talk about the man, you have to run for council, them get elected. And at them in this and your people at work. And remember that a part of the state too, you know. And you go down there, you carry soldier like a wire. You know why? Andrew wanted to look, the dirty thinking Jarrett and who go down there. Wanted to look like this big massive thing. Because them could have just sent a car down there, you just go in and you go in and
you don't need more than a car with 4 personnel in it.
We are an asset in the people. This is a total disrespect. But tell me what, them not do it in a Kingston and St. Andrew now. 80 million overpay, dirty thinking feather. Nasty drunker feather. Yes? 80 million overpay. Yeah? And Swebe see that right now and them are do some auditing. Right? Plus, some building will go up and money collect and think that man make over 24 million. Ask him for one little thing. Them know about this. When you look, the man sit down there and make people give people shit for them. Kind of shit too. Up a crop circle. Woman a shit in a bucket and the first shit in that bucket. That bucket carry crab. That bucket, a good thing when I am crab in a better.
But then again, the Minister of Security a crab. Eh? The Minister of Security a crab, so I'm fit for them bucket where Phyllis have.
So you see, she shit in the bucket, you know. She shit in a pot too. And them sit down there because I vote. I make the people know and give people, I sell people shit. Me say them have a thing when me show with somebody say it's an artist and his wife. And when them say, Jesus, me have to laugh. I will show that with them maybe later. This bad. So them not go down there and know when the Bible. The biggest municipal corporation in Jamaica, the richest one, but I know. MOCA cities and them not reach down there now.
They never reach down there.
But yeah, what them I say yes or no? I can finish play this. Look on this, how this look. Remember now, and a gunman, who you run down here, so remember some elected people, them, you know. A matter of fact, brother, we just go and look a while, just the election in February gone. Look on this, how this look. Eh? When them do it like this, you know, it's like a shaka and war. It will make shaka horror. It will make it look bad because the PMP counts that run down there, you know. Yeah. Right.
Look at irregularities at a municipal corporation. Details in this report. A significant joint operation involving police and soldiers at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation early Thursday morning. The entity was among 17 locations raided by security personnel. The high-profile raid forms part of a broader investigation. Director of Communications at the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, Major Basil Jarrett, says the operation focuses on employees of the corporation and their associates.
These locations are the homes of employees and associates of employees at the Municipal Corporation. The entire operation is in conjunction to an ongoing investigation, an investigation that has been live for some time now. This morning we are here to execute several search warrants in furtherance of that investigation.
People, there's a search warrant, them have got several search warrant, but where the soldier them should do search warrant, what you do with soldier for defend your country, you know?
Yeah.
And some elected people them go around, you know, and you have search warrant because when this Baron,
Yeah.
Andrew Holness, I fall back upon him with him look a dirty thinking criminal self, you know. When they run out with this, all this piece of dirty green shit front of me, hey, this piece of morass, drunk crowd front of me, run out, can green bad, you know, this piece of shit front of me, you know, when him Jarrett. Him green too, you know, it's a piece of shit too, you know. So him run out, then run him out, and you see him run out, come and do this. Him fi fuck off too, you know, my shit, you know. This piece of shit front of me, a shit. Yeah? This so embarrassing for the whole country. Where that can be soldier and the one of them are go down there. Where you, brother, I serve them, I serve warrant, you know.
Win.
Yeah.
People them are gonna lock up, you know.
Win.
Yeah, my
Win.
brother.
Back up. Play it back because it just says something that I want to dig a little bit.
Joint operation involving police and soldiers
As she come out, that's I finished thing them, man.
is at the St. Catherine Municipal Corporation early Thursday morning. The entity was among 17 locations raided by security personnel. The high-profile raid forms part of a broader investigation. Director of Communications at the Major Organized Crime and Anti-Corruption Agency MOCA, Major Basil Jarrett, says the operation focuses on employees of the corporation and their associates.
These locations.
So if you have sold people, what may I say to you? I'm finish with but if you are target employee, what you do with soldier and them iPod rifle and everything when them are elected people,
but I know,
and thing and like, you understand? I understand this.
yeah, what I know, Win, he might go to the point. He might go to the point we want to make. Play it up.
Play it, go down.
Employees of the corporation and their associates.
These locations are the homes of employees and associates of employees at the Municipal Corporation. The entire operation is in conjunction to an ongoing investigation, an investigation that has been live for some time now. This morning we are here to execute several search warrants in furtherance of that investigation.
When pressed about
what
whether
Hold on. Him just said something that very important.
Mm-hmm.
Major Jarrett Barrett said that the investigation, right, is in conjunction
Yes.
to an ongoing investigation, right, that have been taking place over a protracted period. Now, let me ask the question
Who that
before.
reach to back now?
Yes.
Tell you.
Hold on, let me ask you a question. Is it that investigation, right, also commence, right, under the tenure of Delroy Williams? Because this is what he said, you know. He said, Major Jarrett Barrett said, right, that investigation is in conjunction to an ongoing investigation that have been taking place for some time now. Now, let me ask the question, because we have to break it down properly. So the question I'm asking is that investigation have extension as it relates to situation under Delroy Williams?
No, yeah, this now.
Because if that is not the case,
another case can be the case.
no, but I believe that you're right, you know. I believe that that is not the case, but no, only I show Jamaica
Yes.
what he said.
Yes.
That this investigation, because that is the pretext that he's using, you know. He wants to tell Jamaica that, okay, all right, this is an ongoing investigation. So from what time? Because if that investigation has nothing to do with the period, you understand, under Delroy Williams, and only has to do with the period under Swaby, this is really a disappointment in Jamaica in terms of how Andrew Holness politically using the force, you understand, to manipulate and trying to interrogate people. Because I want to know now, is that investigation, right, judging way back from under the tenure of Delroy Williams, or that investigation has nothing to do under the tenure of Delroy Williams, but now only focus now under the tenure of Swaby. But something wrong, something fundamentally wrong with this. Something fundamentally wrong with this. Andrew Holness. Andrew Holness needs to stop this. Andrew Holness needs to stop this. Paula Llewellyn needs to stop this. So Paula Llewellyn, let me ask you a question. You never see it fit. You understand? If you agree with an investigation like this under Delroy Williams, then why you are now pushing in an agreement for an investigation to proceed now under Swaby? I'm going to show Jamaica how political bias and corrupt. You understand? Andrew Holness, trust me, I want dirty corruption this, you know. I'm just shit, you know. I'm just nasty, it's nasty people. Yes. And what the man saying about you know, him said that, so that's why I'm telling you, if you play it again, you understand? He said it in conjunction to an ongoing investigation. So we want to know if that ongoing investigation has anything to do, you understand, with the tenure of Delroy Williams. And if it has nothing to do under the tenure of Delroy Williams, so mainstream media need to ask Major Jared Barrett how far the investigation stretched to. Yeah. But as I said before, Delroy Williams, them leave from Kingston because I remember two different councils. So them leave from Kingston and them not do nothing for Kingston. We're the biggest council. We are running at Jamaica. And them come, we are St. Catherine. And I deal with St. Catherine 1. I said, you know, irregularities, but look how much they are Kingston. Look, they're the biggest one, millions of dollars front of them, and I know them not touch it. You see me I talk about? Yeah. So they definitely, them a try to story something. This is our Paula Llewellyn a try story. Continue.
The raid is linked to allegations of corruption within the municipal corporation. Major Jarrett declined to confirm, stating only that
it's an ongoing investigation. We're not sure where the investigation will lead and where it will take us. What we can say, though, is that the Major Organized Crime Anti-Corruption Agency will conduct itself with the necessary transparency, accountability, impartiality, and professionalism that we are known for.
Yeah. You don't know for the professionalism, you know, for a big load of shit. Very green and all. Continue.
While he remains tight-lipped on the specifics of the operation.
Yeah, this now. That for sure, you know. You just yeah. If, look at what the pan can and do. Look on this. So what is? Some elected people working there, and you have other people working there still, you know. But you're not supposed to pan can do that.
St. Catherine, not KSMC. St. Catherine.
St. Catherine this.
So that one said, no Norman Scott at the mayor for over there, sir.
Yes. Yeah. So me I tell you, say, are because them not do the one at Kingston in the Bible. Okay. Them not do the one at Kingston, where dangerous. Yes. Where me and Swaby take over. Them not touch feather, them not do nothing to feather. With all the bad thing we are going, but them reach over Norman Scott because him a PMP. Okay. You understand now? Norman Scott a PMP, me I know better. So when them come with them police and soldiers and everything now, what them I try to do is stir up some fella for them, say, ooh, and Norman Scott, something. So them I look something for the media, and them come with media house, soldier. It's so disrespectful, brother. You understand what I say, Byron? Yes, no, look at it. There are 8 years, him have the people them upside down shit, up a crop circle. Yeah, him have people fight over him about concubine. Yeah, and I talk about how much money him to spend. Them spend over $80 million overpay staff, overpay them friend and who, and I know them not going to say irregularities. Them yes, we better about it, you know. And I know them not walk up there and better. You understand? Yeah. Them see also Andrew Bill and other people where the contract them never right and the permit not right. Them not say no why investigate this corruption. Them leave and reach in a St. Catherine and go over here so.
So they don't have no interest. They don't have no interest in a KSMC.
No, they're not
No.
interested in investment and criminality, but
Because
they're
remember,
more than irregularities.
Yeah.
You understand
Hey,
what I say? So them leave further for the whole 8 years when the woman come out and say him food him cry and everything. Them not know them the business about them money there. The
Yeah.
biggest, if you are going to council, then you're going to the biggest one first. Where they
Exactly.
sign you. But when you run your side, you carry soldier and SWAT team and them thing there. Because you want to make a shock on her. You want people run out and say, well, see that Norman Scott, he's a PMP and him gone over 17. You see what I'm do? Them people, I've got to thinking track 5, you know. She and Dottie that nasty thinking when they race run out, because him shit too. The whole of them run out. I will not stop bullying that because him forgot the egg to him and one of them, you know. Because him had fuck up the place, Jarrett. Nasty thinking.
So it goes back to the question. Lonesome in terms of what Major Barrett, Major Jarrett Barrett said.
Yes.
You understand that it is an ongoing investigation. So then, hold on. So why investigate St. Catherine as it relates to the fact that it is PNP controlled? What to there's no investigation that is going to be looked into as it relates to KSMC.
Well, him said it, hold on. Him said it's ongoing, right? So hold on. So for the 8 years, he never even start something but ongoing with KSSC. Not at all.
And that may I ask now.
Not ongoing, not at all. You know,
nothing at KSMC.
No. That no make sense. And yet still, the new me I tell you say 80 million overpaid and some, you know, irregularities.
I know them not see him. I know they not listen to him. They not hear
him.
But them gone to St. Catherine.
Leave a little small one, you saw. Leave the biggest one in the island.
I know.
And all of the house and the building them will put up our money and run and all kind of thing behind it. Them leave gone there. Them gone, you saw. Eh? It don't make no sense.
No, that can't make no sense.
You understand?
Right. Because as a matter of fact, I look at an Integrity Commission report and the amount of situation that happened with KSMC, the amount of it. And I'm going to find that report and show people. And yet more can have no interest in a KSMC as it relates to Delroy Williams' tenure. Right? They don't have no interest. You understand? To pursue that. So how they are pursuing, right, St. Catherine.
Norman Scott. But
as it relates to Norman Scott. I don't understand.
You see the problem, let me tell you the problem where I mash up Jamaica. Yeah? And this is why I label Andrew Wallace-led government as a regime. Just look at how many army personnel the man move and strategically place them in some sensitive civilian role. All them operation here, a police and detective supposed to work. So we don't want no Major Basil Jarrett. The man they are soldier, the man they don't have the expertise knowledge when it comes to dealing with and pursuing civilian matters. But what Andrew Holness do? You see General Lampile, you see Major Gugugaga Anderson, and you see this piece of shit Jarrett.
Yes.
The man assembled some key personnel around him because he was taking the country down the path of dictatorship.
Yes.
No 2 ways about it. That is why you see him have the army people and recruit them into civilian zone. So this is why we now have these type of problem. That's why the operation have to look like this, because this man is an army man. When you go, when army leave barracks, you know, you have a convoy.
Melting pot of iron. Those people, remember move this and look, I talk to my brother them. Just look on this now. Look how dangerous them want the situation look now. Like it's an encouragement, like it's a municipal corporation encouragement now. With army man, with SWAT team. And when you look, them are walk going, when them walk going and like them are do something that them are delivering. You know, when them say them are do some warrant, some search warrant.
Yeah.
Some search warrant. So search warrant need these people. and need the media and the whole of the amount of police and soldiers right down. Because this supposed to make big headline, it backfire by your dirty nasty and Holness. It dirty means dirty thinking, big dirty thinking, track 5, and nasty thinking, Jarrett. Use a piece of shit. It backfire by on too. Remember where I dig up the whole of your thing them too, you know, because you're not supposed to do this, you know. Because you're nastiness, you know. Yes? And you know, do this. Them the people get elected. And if you do something, you say if you're not going to go arrest some people, we understand. You know, if them do them work because you think them are like FBI, brother, them not do it. Look, you know, when Byron and it's when the man them do some woman get and see NCB open account for all in much thing with Holness. The man them run go deal with that now, brother. The man them them not go for leeching. Yes? The Messi money I run through leeching thing, Messi 150 million. That bigger than the 80 million where them sit down at KSAC. Andrew, I want to do this, you know. When get the 150 million to withdraw in a NCB. When get 120 million for withdraw in a NCB by Byron.
Exactly.
Bigger than the 80 million where the people them don't overpay.
Yeah.
These are crime. Andrew Holness work the money. Him now have no company but give. Hey, una shit, you know. Me say una shit. Una forget this mantle.
Selective justice, my brother.
Yes. Una
Selective
forget
justice.
dirty thinking Mocha. Una shit. Yeah? Big dirty thinking straight. Let me tell you this. You have to go on a GP. You have to go a GP because you're shit. No, she have to go a GP, man. She have to go along there, brother. She has shit.
Yeah, man.
See? Brother, look now. Out of the SSL money, where you see a thief in money, the man say 140 Uncle Smaddy alone in the history of Jamaica, in the whole of Jamaica. Uncle Smaddy alone get back money, you know, out of 31 million. Uncle Smaddy collect money because we never see him put no money on Andrew Holness. The Prime Minister of Jamaica. Oh, but look. Look better. Uncle Buddy get money from SSL and the Prime Minister of Jamaica. And him not put no money in there, you know. Can't remember, you know. Him claim say, them not have the bank account. So, you know, the bank, all the money bank in there for ADMAT. Eh? You do investment, you can't show an investment, but you get 140,000 US. That's over 22 million Jamaican. And I know big dirty thinking MOCA. This big dirty major piece of shit. What we just showed major work about me. You mean Mangy fucking Jarrett. You know, I know you're not going to investigate it. Me and big dirty thinking, me and Jarrett. Eh? Your favor, you forget, man. You fucking piece of shit.
Lonesome. Them man are unpicked man by Andrew Holness, you know. So them have to work in solidarity with all the corruption with Andrew Holness. Go on with. You understand?
Which is right.
So we have to just come out and just burn them straight. And we not make no apology with the choice of word where we use round here, so. Because them a piece of nastiness, them a shit. Hear that? Right. Because as me stated, you know, clearly these men don't have any intellectual expertise in pursuing civilian matters. These are army men. And this is why when you look, you see the whole convoy behind him because of army people them work. When them go to the convoy.
Yeah, but look at it, brother. All right, so we look at a bigger picture, brother. You are go to a municipal corporation, which some people get elected, right? You can just call them, not them will come with you. Yeah, you know, going in the intention to lock up nobody. But yes, still you go with soldier, SWAT team and everything. I find the whole place. That means when
so
the
whole
you know what them do now? Them all run with Mark Gold in them, say them searching them up there. So, Mocha up there, when you look them start spread it. Them are spread it all over the place. See? At this Andrew one, but it not help it not see Andrew. You know what's
help Andrew Holness, man.
Can't
help Andrew Holness.
If you go away, you know, if you fuck off to, you know.
The regime leader of the country a piece of fucking shit. Here, all them do is just bring down destruction every day on the little piece of rock. You understand? Andrew Holness, we just move and take him nasty self and go one side, you know. You understand? Because when we see Andrew Holness, you know, there's no remorse. that you cannot touch or apply to this piece of shit. Him is just a straight criminal. A man who from day one never have the intention to serve Jamaican electorate. Him never have the knowledge of to move the country forward as a leader because he's not a leader.
People.
You understand?
When them have the coke port up to bus the other day, them did have so much SWAT and everybody got pick it up? No. When them have the 12 billion bus, have so much police and SWAT and them saying go pick it up? Them kill them white friend. Them kill them white. I know. You know, if you know, so the man, me know if you're a prime minister, nobody don't come and say, condolence, is a businessman to them white friend. Them kill him. Businessman. And I know, me not hear, not even PSOJ come out and say, you know, condolences to payments. A police kill him, by the way. Hitman police. Yeah. Yes.
It him
police. Nobody not talk about the murder by Iran or nothing like that.
Exactly.
Nobody not talk about the murder. A man like that dead. Yeah, if it was two, look at get you. No stone unturned. But I know. The man have the man buried. I know him buried already, you know. But you not hear nothing. Don't it? Because the $12 billion worth of coke bus. And the man said, nah, go down, so them blame him. So what them do? Them go deal with him case. You know, realize that, Byron?
And that's
hijack the country, me tell you, you know. Hijack, and you only say hijack the country, you know, with $5 grand and $2 grand and a box lunch. Oh, people for use $5 grand and $2 grand and box lunch, hijack a fucking country. And I hear that. When you can make big nose and you come hijack the country with $5 grand and $2 grand and box lunch. I sound hungry. Any woman will take them money there. Again, I talk about no boat boy, you know. That mean, hey, them not deserve no man boy. Can you imagine melting pot?
Yeah.
Hey, which woman, nobody will not take up them people and where a man can buy you for $5 grand or $2 grand and a box lunch and you go and go give them a boat. That means you don't deserve no man. You deserve a donkey.
So true.
A dog.
So true.
And the man them likewise. When man can buy your vote. You're the boss and buy your vote. That's why they don't do nothing for the place and mash it up, so they hijack it. For $2 grand and $5 grand, I remember, you know, it's not my saying, look here, $5 grand and $2 grand, remember, when you hear, and I saying, look here, remember, and me say this, look here, where the jackass teeth one name down there, so don't have West.
Yes, Hutchinson.
Hutchinson. That piece of shit. Let me see this. Let me see for that one now. JC. Let me see this. Let me find this.
JC people can move right now. Because when we look on the road, JC
them have some $5 grand according to JC Hutchinson. The whole of them, you know. I feed them with $5 grand and all kind of thing.
Look on the straight road. Look at the road turn. How JC behave with me. Like that. Man, we go one side, man. The same time move now, man.
Over the years in a power, and I don't see what he is doing to Northeast West, Northwest St. Elizabeth. So he must go in, can expire, so he must go make a younger set come and take his seat. The last election, I don't vote for Ochi. So the next election, next year, then say to run, I will never vote if he no come out. We get rid of Ochi.
Them time has come, you know. In fool the people them has enough, and the people them make up their mind and now say higher authority need to come on the ground and come know what go on.
You hear that, people? Let me hear this way him say now.
Many of you would have been seeing a demonstration that went on in Northwest St. Elizabeth. I don't want to go further into it, but I want you to understand, for every election that we have had, you have had the people coming out and demonstrating against me. And every election, I have won by a bigger majority. I told the area council a couple of weeks ago that the demonstration was coming because I call it the pre-election demonstration because we know it's coming. And I won't get into the sort of people who were there, But some of them, you help them once,
Yeah,
you help
this.
them twice,
He
and
made
the time you don't help them.
if you never barely can crave, eh? When you sell on yourself, look who no make a take liberty, you know. Look on this a dirty me and Jah take liberty with you know. Eh? Look here.
Then turn around cuss you.
Get there.
One of them must send on farm work.
You can't send nobody on farm work. You see the brainwash thing when me I tell you about, brother. You hear? You hear the him send on farm work. Remember, you have to go on your own car. They won't go get if you're not passing, brother. You have to go pass medical like what my brethren say. You have to pass a lot of things and find your own money. You're not going away. So when them give you now, you get through. If you don't get through, him now say, boy, I send him, I get through. Him say, him send you. Yeah.
One of them must send on farm work. And after 3 weeks, the man come back home, say the work too tough. He can't manage it. And then him now want the MP to support him.
Yeah.
Another one you see in the picture, him admit that him got 50 chicken and 5 bag of feed from me. But I never give him the black drum.
A black drum? Yeah, all them disrespect. You look at them damn shit here. I tell you, said, hey, are them people follow you on listen, man? You hear the liberty? Yeah.
So you understand the people that I deal with in my constituency.
Yeah.
So no matter what happen, they have to come good. The rest of them who were there get $5,000 and a box lunch.
And I will say so. Not my word. Yeah. People, this is our Jamaica. We have to change this. Eh? You are your own man. And you can put in a man and give him work that he might take liberty we do now. Can you imagine, man? Any man say them a woman will take 5 and backstone. That means she sell her body, you know. She will sell you out. She get 10 grand, she gone. Man could have HIV. I could have big mama. She gone with him. And give a cookie after she done. I know big mama want to go with her. You understand what I say? See? Yeah, man. Look here.
The rest of them who were there get $5,000 and a box lunch.
Jesus Christ. Brother, that we are talking about with the people them run at them people here. 5,000 and a box lunch.
From
You know what come tell the whole world. Remember, you know, you put him in there, you know. Yeah? Then put him in there, you know. And you keep him just come and this you. And when I election, him just give 5 and a box lunch.
But
when I get in a box lunch.
When I look at it, Wayne, right? It's to show you how corruption being normalized.
That's a corruption. If you get that, why more can I go for this piece of shit? More, no, him get 5 number one, you can't buy vote and buy them thing then better. It's illegal. If you get locked up, you get charged cheat, you know. The man admit him to the crime. You remember them say nobody no admit him admit to the crime, you know better. Exactly. This piece of shit, big dunce and fool, him admit to the crime.
And that is what I'm talking about in terms of right how criminality being normalized under the Andrew Holness administration. Here you have a member of parliament who came out blatantly, right? And he believed that, you know, what he's saying, right, there's nothing wrong with it. You understand, in terms of, you know, using a process of buying votes. You understand, talking about he gave him $5,000 and box lunch, right? Which we have seen, right, in several clips where we have seen that sort of vote buying being taking place. However, him feel that he can, you know, come out on a public platform and stated that, and you know, nothing wrong, because it just normalized as it relates to the Andrew Holness corruption. Here you have Dalrymple again. If you switch from that and you look on Dalrymple situation is really an interesting situation, to the fact that a member of parliament who had utilized the government discount, right? Contravention to the policies in terms of using it, right? And we are now she has now placed before the judiciary. You understand? That case now is in the court. And Andrew Holness, being at the helm of the administration, right, can't really fathom that, okay, all right, this can't look good, right? I have to apply moral and ethical principle to tell Dalrymple that, look, you have a situation, right, going on, right? You hold a public office, right? It doesn't look good for the political optics. So it best if you step aside, right, and, you know, anticipate, right, the judgment on the case. No, Andrew Holness don't do that. The reason why Andrew Holness don't do that, because Andrew Holness himself is in the predicament, is in a conundrum. And so then Andrew Holness is now, right, sort of buttering the thing for everyone. You understand? So that they can be in support of him, because Andrew Holness know what is coming down into the pipeline as it relates to illicit enrichment. So this goes to say that when you find a government head, the head of a government, involved in something like this, that particular head cannot discipline none of the members. Because any member that he tries to discipline, you understand, they are going to point to the fact that, you understand, him himself under investigation. And it would be so hypocritical for him under that sort of situation and trying to discipline someone. What would be what would it you know, that Andrew Holness would be saying to someone in trying to curb, right, in terms of any form of corrective behavior? So Andrew Holness can't do it. So Andrew Holness have to play along, right, in terms of supporting them in the corruption, and people just need to see that clearly. You understand that when you have the political head, the prime minister, our president, right, involved in something like this, right, then he cannot discipline any member. And this is what we are seeing in Jamaica. Andrew Holness now decided that, look, I am going to burn down both the Constitution. He tried to corrupt the criminal justice system, right? And so then people have to just know that this man is 100% natural evil, right? Him is just evil and dangerous. Evil and dangerous. Andrew Holness don't have not one good will in him. Not one good will in him. If you the level of the wickedness in terms of what Andrew Holness had done, when you can trick a society in voting for you, and you know very well that you are going to dispel evil in that society. This is how vicious this man is. Because he knew from the onset, right, that he's not going to come into the politics with any form of political representation. All of what he built up was a facade, was a lie. Everything a lie. You have seen one of the viciousness in terms of his campaign in 2015, when he campaigned and he told many of his supporters that one of the things, right, that he knows, this is what Andrew Holness said, and he's quite aware of it, right? He was right. That one of the things that really pressuring to many of the Jamaican people, particularly the middle class, right, persons who have to pay most of the tax, right, is that the electricity bill, right, the high cost of electricity bill. Now, Andrew Holness, right, promised them and pointed out that the People's National Party government was pressuring them. And him, when he elected, is going to bring in the big power plants, right, to drive down the cost of electricity. Now, after Andrew Holness won in 2016, what did Andrew Holness did in 2017? The umbrella protection that People's National Party have for the kilowatt usage, right, as it relates to 350 kilowatt per hour, to protect the people, protect majority of the people, to say, all right, if you don't use this 350 kilowatt hours, right, then certain things will not chip in terms of certain tax, right? Andrew Holness make sure that he move it. No, you don't want it to be wicked on that, you know? You don't want it wicked. You just can't get it wicked than that. This is the man and the political campaign is telling the Jamaican people, say, one of the things you understand that is bothering our Jamaican people is the high cost of electricity bill. No, this is a man that converted himself into the monster. Campaign 2015, 2016, and 2017 did not waste even any time, no time, you understand, to apply the pressure on the Jamaican people. Then I just recall and remember that, oh, Andrew Holness did say, please don't allow the PNP to win and tell you lies. And when them get into power, them Dutch poison upon you. I say, my God, what a vicious man. He knows very well he's going to win and Dutch poison upon the people. And yet, you understand, him show a wool over the people. I said the People's National Party is going to do it. Just but like as it relates to Finsa. Yes, Wade, go ahead.
Because you remember, so we start, expose them like them and fact check him and everything, So people them do the lieless thing, You understand? I'm a matter of fact, let me give you something with the same police where they start about where I'm there, look a while. Where I'm there. Because we could just look up some of them things the way they start about. I will get the because we have to remind Andrew Holness, because them terrible, You understand?
Exactly. Man is wicked, man. 100% evil.
Yes. But today it blew away the amount of them run go over there so with and the excitement. You understand? Go over there with the excitement. And I strike 5 that too,
Yeah.
Unfinished business. I know them not touch crime. So let me get that one first. You don't start about this, so we get this.
The Labour Party will make sure that we put in place more efficient electricity generating plants to bring down the cost of electricity to you. I don't like to make promise. I make commitment. And under the Labour Party government, we are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big power plants. We are going to ensure that we bring to this country the big energy companies that can put the money in here to build the plants to give you cheaper and better electricity.
Yeah, man. That happened. Lecturer, big up yourself, my family. This happened. This was live.
Yeah.
We can. I'm a tough. Let me tell you what I just said the other day. Electricity, poverty. Look here. Remember, I'm the Prime Minister now, This is before this is before. That's what I say. Can't follow this guy. Him come back and repeat himself at time for no running way. Look here.
Best quality of life. And every Jamaican don't have to worry about their electricity bill. We can end energy poverty in Jamaica. No more.
People may just play before him come in 2016, before him win. When him said, damn, I'm going to bring it to you and make sure no good. But now I said, we can end it. Just tell her this. Look what I said, we can't end. So under him 9 years, him sit down there and I suffer you. Him can't end nothing like that now, I don't know, It was 9 years too late. When if we start telling him 9 years too late,
don't have to worry about their electricity bill. We can end energy poverty in Jamaica. No more bridge light, no more thief light, no more hide and borrow light from your friend. You should have electricity affordable so that you can enjoy the best quality of life.
So, affordable electricity. You come at people can afford electricity and them still have the best quality of life. I'll be a fucking talk, And you have a hide and borrow light for your friend. Friend, you can't hide and borrow light for the borrow light.
Yes. So between 2016 to now, as it relates to the promise, those people better off?
No.
Okay.
If those go say this no. We can electricity poverty. And hide and borrow light, no more bridge light. You stop. You borrow light for your friend. I'll be a shitting talk. You know why I'm getting over this? him have the gift of the gab, you know. Him just put on a clocks and wear and then them just go around and chat about bullshit. But when you screw him down and dissect him, you realize say I just bullshit.
Exactly.
Straight. Him dangerous.
Dangerous, yes.
Very dangerous. You see that lied?
Yeah, man.
Lied, brother.
Dangerous guy, man. You know, but even going back to all JC Hutchinson, you know, because I just want to emphasize certain thing about him as an individual, serving the people down in him constituency. The man, they pass them best days in politics, you know. And them man, they should never come back in politics after the 1,400 acre land where him thief and distribute between him and him son. You understand? So, but glad him can come out and show say him is not an honest MP, because no MP not supposed to have about the 5,000 and box lunch, you know, for vote for him, you know. That's not how you become elected. That's not the process. The process is good representation, not buying vote. Yeah? And then make we move now back to Dalrymple. Now she is a spitting image of Andrew Holness. Yeah? Because remember, you know, she lied upon something where she shouldn't even lie, where she should have done. It shows all up her and show some remorse and apologize and try to polish it. But arrogance get the better of she, just like Andrew Holness and him arrogancy. And she try if you denounce the truth and find all ways and entangle ourselves and not up ourselves more and more, because them are some laggerhead. Andrew no sense, you know. Andrew no really bright or educated, you know. Jamaican people want to know, say Andrew is just an average, ordinary citizen. He don't have the capability and the scope to be a great leader, to lead a country like Jamaica. He is an average individual when it comes to education. Andrew Dunce. People in Jamaica want to know and right around the world and in the diaspora more so. Yeah? Andrew Dunce. That is why Andrew type of speech them is all about PR and brother Nancy tactics. Come out and trick and lie to the people them. Because when Andrew Holness mention of bringing energy supply, you know, first of all, him said big. Then the big energy supply where you are bring come them now on him. You're supposed to identify the source of energy supply where you are bring come to the country. And where are these energy supply up till today?
Actually, I'm not gonna bring it because we don't have the power thing for ourselves, so him couldn't bring it.
Exactly.
Yo, only thing you could do maybe go talk to them and tell them say,
come invest.
But yes,
all they would have to do is send the foreign trade minister, Camillian Johnson. See me? Go get them people. Him can't do that. Yeah? Because remember, you know, Jamaica is not running energy supply anymore. That's been already divested to private enterprise.
Yes.
So where the energy is concerned, it's not been operated by the state anymore. So he could not re-enter into that capacity. Yeah? So he would have to send go look these investors to come to Jamaica. But that was a trick. That's why I couldn't mention who these power supply, big power company are. You understand? So we all know, once again, him trick the people them into voting for him. And this is why Jamaicans are now feeling the strain of the Andrew Holness-led regime. There were no fundamental framework as it relates to him having any real plan to develop and grow Jamaica. The only plan where Andrew Holness having was to rob from the taxpayers of Jamaica and to make himself wealthy. And when time comes, that's what is and will be his legacy. Because remember, Andrew tell us, I don't care about politics no more, you know. What he care about is legacy.
Legacy.
No, I don't believe that legacy would, contrive itself to politics. Because nowhere, shape or form, you can have legacy and politics, running in tandem, or parallel, No way. Because legacy is something where you get through fame. Yeah? And people, accredit you and, make much of you, and then you have a legacy. But in running Jamaica, it's leadership, not legacy. But Andrew Holness, we all know, is a straight criminal with a straight face of telling lies. Come out and trick the people everywhere go across the country. It's just trick. And I think that people are aware of who Andrew Holness is now. This is why you see Mark Golding and the People's National Party as a massive insurmountable lead in the poll. Because the people realize that them not get no electricity reduction in, as it relates to the cost. Them not get nothing when promised them as it relates to sleeping with door and windows open. Them not get nothing when promised them as it relates to prosperity. Them not get nothing. All them get austerity and poverty. Exactly. And the people are now feeling it in their backbone. You understand? And I like what I saw when the people that supported JC Hutchinson come out and demonstrate against his performance. Because that's what real good governance is about. You cannot have an elected person serving you, and you just make him throw all type of garbage in front of you and deal with your environment and your community as how him please, It have to be done on the basis of good governance. So when the people was not getting what they deserve, they came out in protest. And what J.C. Hutchinson run out and did was to make reference of who him sent to farm work, who him give 50 chicken and 5 bag of feeding, and, who him give 5,000 box food. Now them they are garbage politics. Garbage politics. Because him couldn't say, well, him give them a school or a skill training center or a hospital or a
university.
Nothing like that. You understand? So you notice all them money talk about politics and what they give back to the electorate is just money and food and bus ride. And if you're lucky, you might get a farm working ticket. I remember you have to go there at the Ministry of Works and Labor on Duke Street. And you have to pass the medical and all other variants. Yeah? And like him just give you go straight on the plane and go wherever I'm saying,
Talk to the youth them. It no works.
So your own initiative.
Yes.
As it relates to the process to get onto that plane. As a matter of fact, first to be selected and to get onto the plane. So these little numbskull, sinking jawbone, face look like donkey. Yeah, I come chat to people like say him check people or some little skirmish where you can just deal with people life after when you sit down there and full of no crap for much years. Just since if you go now, see him look like skeleton in front of you. You don't want them the piece of shit that's representative down in St. Elizabeth, Them they go away. At time when you start look for real people with vitality and energy and nuance of how to deal with constituency. We don't need real leader now. I so not go get no road, we not go have nothing. Under these pieces of shit, we Andrew Holness assembling and regime. We make up the Jamaica Labour Party for how many years? Them have to go now, them are all donkey. Them can't carry no hamper no more. You understand? So them left all the burden pound now. And you have to full out patrol and all these things. Una have cardboard and lay down pan where una pay $500 for. Because them not provide bed now in a hospital. Una have to run go the pharmacy for every farmer medication that you need because the hospital and the Ministry of Health not having any there for you. So it reached a crossroad in Jamaica. Now where the people have to wise up to the national cry. And the national cry is to move and do Holness. Dismantle the regime. Move away from dictatorship policy and go back to the real democracy. Democracy must be the order of the day of our landscape of politics. Because that's what we know. And that's what we as Jamaican pride. Free movement, freedom of speech, yeah? Them that real democracy, you know. You know, get them there in a dictatorship government in a regime, you know. Where you get a austerity with the soldier, them run out pound and mashing up, shooting the tune on the car about how, you know. Policeman are stepping out on the car, one and not kneeling on your back simultaneously. Yeah? Them that won't get, you know. So we don't know if I them don't want real democracy, you know. Real democracy bring people together. You understand? Real democracy keep a country unite. Real democracy provide care and assistance more so for the elderly in the society and for the young one coming through. Real democracy don't take away from education. Real democracy build education. Because without education, you don't have a functioning nation. You understand? So, the whole consensus is that we have to take matters in our hand now. As citizens of Jamaica, we have to be more expressive in our words as it relates to the state of the country. The country not running well. The country is in a state of disrepair. God help and bless Markie G when him take the reign. Because I'm telling you, Jamaican, Mark Jefferson Golden is a man that God chose to lead the country out of this perilous state of disaster and destruction. Mark Golden and his team of candidates that he carefully and methodically select will be the answer to the people cry of Jamaica. Not this regime government. Not Andrew Holness. Not the 48 thieves that align themselves around him. Because you know him are the principal Alibaba. You understand? These people have done too much damage to the society. They have shown lack of care for the civilians, especially the youths from the ghetto. What we are seeing now is a spate of gruesome murder being committed every day. And a regime that claims that they spend the most money on crime and come out and took to the podium and make no bones in boasting about the $176 billion that they invest in crime. I know that's a lie. That's a projected figure that was, outlined for crime, but has been chopped and put into various people's pockets. And this is why our crime situation has become so gruesome. Sometimes when I look at the video, I can hardly bear to watch them because I'm looking at a life being destroyed in a brutal manner. And what is so significant is that all of these murders has not been solved. How can you have a society where people just get killed, but you can't solve the perpetrator? You can't solve the crime to determine who is the perpetrator. How can it be when you spend $176 billion on crime? But Jamaica shouldn't be surprised, you know, because the Minister of National Security is a crimist himself. Have a gang. WikiLeaks highlight it. And to compound matters worse, he's not only the Minister of National Security, but also the Deputy Prime Minister. Come on, Jamaican people, wake up. Smell the coffee. The country being run by dictatorship that is being contrived upon the citizen by a regime. And we have to move the regime. The regime should have been dismantled long time ago. But better late than never. And I yield back to another panel.
All right, Markie G, Byron.
Yes.
I'll show you a video right now with Andrew Holness go over port trial. It's up out there, you know, from the other day. Number one, Jamaica Water, National Water Commission have them own money, them have them own budget and thing. The other day, them talk about amnesty and the people, them when them go to the Water Commission, say you have to pay some money. Because that time you have to pay some. The father by Andrew Holness, say you have to pay some money. Anyway, them are put in a pipe. They have nothing to do with drunk or jacket. But Andrew Holness reach over port trial. I don't know why listen, Andrew, listen, man. Listen. You get pan people, tap a people nerve now. You feel just fuck off in a better. You feel go away, you know. Him for just go away, man. The 9 years too late. I mean, I tell you what you do. And a lot of people are see and say, yes, you might do some work. Water Commission of it supply the people them. It's down to the people about that. They might go over there and change the pipe. Because need to change it. We don't see nobody I walk a couple and know about you now. Can I think to these things? If I fuck off, brother. Fuck off. And like you are carry the pipe over there. The pipe are right now after time it will change. When the pipe start changing, Andrew turn up. But you turn up, brother. You think people are idiot? This is not, I tell you already, this is not 2016 or 2020. What happened to you? Enough money, hey, when about more than 7, right now, it passed over 8 billion, you know.
Well, yes, it's a climb. It's climbing way.
Money not short. That guy money not short, brother. See? Money not short. Anyway, let me show you the thing over Water Commission. You hear him talk on himself, do you know? You hear him talk on himself. Say no place, no fix. 9 years too short. You hear this now. Listen this.
Minister Andrew Holness is shutting down claims of political bias in the rollout of infrastructure projects across Jamaica.
Remember, him not have no project roll and we said the country in a recession. So I'm talking about bias. The
opposition has accused the government of deliberately delaying or ignoring road repairs in constituencies controlled by their MPs. But
why am I do that? The opposition right. When them not have the money yet, but them when it go closer, like when they call election, he give them work in a film constituency, in a them constituency, that means them can't say you want to vote because we get work. So when do know that's why I'm see called Palwell, I try to use Palwell too, you know. See? Because you're not supposed to come down, but this are the road and them thing. But him, let me tell you something, people. Him come and he make a speech or so. And him admit the fact. Yeah? Say the whole place mash up. Not my word. Byron, not your word, not melting pot word. Hear this, people.
Mr. Holness, while speaking at the recent commissioning ceremony for the Port Royal Pipeline Replacement Project,
it replace. So, them have a project over Port Royal, see them where they have replace them pipeline, and the man gone over there. You don't need a ceremony to replace. Can the pipe have to replace? So everywhere Andrew come up with this thing to try to trick people. Everywhere Water Commission have to do them working about that. Them have the money for do it, and Andrew put the money around there. Them have the money for do it. If it's rotten out, them have to repair it. After that time, them have to change out some of them, and them continue to change pipe over the years. But this is the first year I see this guy, everywhere Water Commission turn, or something I go on our house, you see him a key. Say my work. Him not fucking working, him is a piece of shit. Andrew people tired of you know, but they don't like you know better.
revealed that he's even faced criticism from his own party supporters for launching the massive Spark program in Port Royal, which forms part of a constituency held by PMP NP Philip Paulwell.
And a Port Royal like that, the water commission does do them thing. So I'm going to a water commission and chat him shit. And I'm going to admit to him and him not do nothing at all to the place. Remember, 9 years too late. Hear this.
Public resources. We try desperately not to look at the politics of the expenditure, but rather to look at the benefit of the people.
Hear this. Hear this.
And right across Jamaica, you could close your eyes and just randomly pick an area, and that area would genuinely be in need. Whether it's
not my saying, but this is the same man I run out, you know, and say, oh, everything nice and them fix place and wah. When does it require? You can run and they pick anyway and it in need, right? Definitely. Remember now we are saying, you know, he might admit to and say, no, I'm not fix nowhere. Do what the money I chop it. Let me play it back and hear what I say, yes, sir.
And right across Jamaica, you could close your eyes and just randomly pick an area, and that area would genuinely be in need. Whether it is for water, or road, or housing, or sewage, or something. Wherever you go in Jamaica, there is the need.
Hold on there, my brother. Hold on there. Hold on there, wait. Hold on there. Wait, let me say something.
Yes.
You see, this is why we have this work situation now becoming a political, you know, platform. Because this fucking piece of shit you're supposed to see in my office, him not supposed to out on the grounds. I get involved with water commission and them work. So if him never did it, you know, it wouldn't be a political bias, you know. But this man try to go everywhere enough of him thinking self. And it not smell good. Because you can't smell a destruction and corruption. People want to smell the breath of fresh air. Not destruction and corruption. So if it's going I'm fucking office and get on with the administration side of thing and stop going there. Go interfere with the people man them work. Yeah, when they all about at the place with road and water. What happened to this piece of fucking shit?
I don't know.
If you go now, man. Continue, my brother. Get from my fucking nerves now, man.
So him does come and admit to the people say him don't do no work. Him say the whole country mash up everywhere. Him say he can't close the eye and pick anyway and it need road, water, it need everything. But yesterday, the other day, them say them do good. You see it? Exactly. If you have a time when you pressure him come and tell you the truth, you know. I don't like this thing, you know. But him have to admit, say the whole of Jamaica, anywhere in Jamaica, him say you go right now, it in need. That's so bad. 9 years. Yes. Your piece of shit, you. Yes, Byron.
You know, one of the things that we notice, particularly with the Andrew Holness administration, is the large scale of PR, right? In terms of, you know, coming out and say they do this and they do that. Now, particularly as it relates to even Anne-Marie Vaz, right? Putting, you know, a few little carpets on the road and, you understand, coming out and, you know, make it becomes a public notice. And I am wondering to myself that, okay, all right. So Jamaica needs to change the sort of culture here. And Jamaica needs to be educated. One of the first things that Jamaica needs to have an understanding of is that we pay tax, right? And when we pay the tax, this is the reason where the politicians, right, come in, because they administer as it relates to how they are going to make representation for us. That is one of the reasons why we vote for them, right? So when we pay the tax, right, they will administrate it properly in terms of the appropriate or respective expenditures.
Yeah.
Right, whether to fix road, right, put in whatever they need to put in, right, distribution of water lines and so forth. These are the things that politicians are to do. And so that when you have a government, right, who promise, right, all of these things that they are saying, that they said that they are going to do, and the politician, the government is within the process for 8-9 years, and people cannot see nothing tangible. You have to understand that there is a national fraud committee. And let me explain it. Now, if you, and I'm going to explain it on the simple domestic term. If you at your home pay a carpenter, or you pay a plumber, or you pay an electrician, right, to do a particular work, and the electrician take the money and didn't do the work, no, that's an offense committed. You understand? You have been tricked. You have been frauded.
Yeah.
So I want you to look at it at the same way where you have, particularly as it relates to the amount of taxes that the Jamaican society have been paying, right? Jamaica, in terms of the Caribbean, pay one of the highest, if not the highest in the Caribbean. And around the world, you understand, is one of the countries that tax the highest as it relates to the level of taxation. And so then when you look at the amount of money, right, that being collected for taxes, and the Jamaican people look and said, okay, what are the services that we are getting for our taxes? Now let us go into transportation, right? The amount of taxes being collected. Now look at the roads. For the amount of taxes being collected, right? You're supposed to get good road, good road infrastructure.
Definitely.
Then why are we paying tax and we are not seeing the representation? Now, coupled with this, what the government actually had done as it relates to the national integrity action, speaking out, right, as it relates to the Auditor General, said, look, based on the procurement processes, as it relates to how, you know, taxpayers' monies are to be spent via the awarding of contract and the procurement processes, right? We have $3 trillion unaccounted for. Unaccounted for. So let us zoom in on some of the items. We take three of the most critical sector, right, that's supposed to give service to the Jamaican people in terms of building the nation. Yeah. So one thing we look on education, the education sector. What happened to it? Let us reason out, people. What we have seen happen to the education, $900 billion, right, being missing, right, out of the education over a protracted period, right? Most of it as it relates to Andrew Holness administration.
True.
Let us zoom in closer. We have seen Rural Reid have been charged as it relates to under the microscope of corruption, right? Breaching of procurement guidelines and so forth. Now remember that the Jamaica electorate did not vote, right, to have Rural Reid in this predicament. We vote for representation.
Yeah.
Right? As such, we have seen our education system crippled to the fact that so much money, right, unaccounted for within that sector. And so then it affected the entire educational ecosystem. A ripple effect, right, coming down, where you find it that many teachers, right, can't take the pressure, right, they have migrated, right, for better upward mobility. Now, I am just trying to bring Jamaica into certain consciousness. This government, on the top of their voice, using any platform that they chose to use, and they shout that their government
yeah, brother.
That their government spend the most on this, their government spend the most on that. Now, let us look on the health sector. We have seen Tufton and his PR campaign telling Jamaica that in the history of the entire Jamaica, right, no other organization as it relates to political party had spent the amount of money on healthcare. But let us think. But for the past political parties who had spent less on healthcare had gotten more result out of that healthcare. Then why did the Jamaica Labour Party spend the most on healthcare, where people see the less done and the healthcare system is in a deplorable condition? And then they scratch your head and said, then what could happen why the GLP spend more on healthcare? However, the PNP who spend less on healthcare get more service done, and the Jamaica Labour Party who spend more get less.
Don't move, Byron. Don't move. Make what you Kim right now, as you just say healthcare. Make what you Kim with one thing now. Yeah? I'm going to show you a Mexico plot where they might come up with. But make a joke with healthcare. Look on this now. Hospital, right? Hospital. Yes. So make a joke with the hospital thing right now. Hospital. I just say this, you know. Tough Tom. Hope you're watching, you know. Because I joke with the hospital. Man dead in the hospital. All right. Look on this now. Remember you just said more, right?
A sobering video of Gifford Henry drawing his last few breaths on this earth last Thursday. It still haunts his family and friends.
Stressed, tired, disappointed, frustrated. Just a few of the adjectives used to describe the way I'm feeling presently. This and the disturbing news to learn the distress that my father went through at the Lionel Town Hospital. He just went there just to get assistance. I mean, that facility is there to assist you when you need help. You're sick, you go to the hospital for treatment, right? You go to the hospital, you're expected to come out back better than the way you went there.
The dead man's loved ones said the brutal irony is that Mr. Henry, as an active member of the Community Citizens Association, lobbied political representatives to supply nebulizers to public health facilities in Clarendon. But on the night in question, he himself could not get one of those very machines as his asthma condition worsened.
Him and the man who come in. People, look at the man now. You know, Byron, there's a tell about tough time. You see that man, I'm going to put it back. Byron, I'm going to put it back on that man. That man, after that chair, that man drop and dead in the people. He want a nebulizer. Let me show you this. Tough time spend the most money like what Byron just said, right? The most money, Byron. I'm going to find the man. See my people? Tough time spend the most money. The most money, you know. Right? The most money spend. And tell me what? Down the so. See one of them, I this same one to the Byron. The man need this. This is my house. This is a goddamn disgrace. This is my house. Look here. If me did not see the mask, look here. You see it? Look here. You see, them not connect up, but see, they can this and I like it you. See that? Look at this. The man does one of this. And the hospital, where they spend billion, them have nearly 700 billion. Where them not spend, yet still, my house have this. And we have more than one. Could I send this? Could give me the know it. Saying, the hospital now have this to save life. The man that drop off of the chair and dead. This is Andrew Holness administration, and yet still, them get up and do PR. We spend the most money and you don't have this. Could have saved that man's life and could have lived now. You all no feel. The man in the wilderness have more than one of the brother. Me have more things in my house than where they are the hospital of Jamaica. This is it more than embarrassing. The man dead because of this. Him could have stayed here than him getting on him nebs himself. See that? You see it? See the Byron?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. So as I was saying, Wayne, that Tufton came out, right, and this public trumpet is what you call it, is propaganda trumpet, yes. Right, blowing out steam, hot here, that them spend billions in healthcare. Now let us look and zoom in again as it relates to what the Auditor General findings. The Auditor General is saying, while Tufton is blowing out the hot air, that his administration spent X on healthcare, the Auditor General found that $700 billion, right, unaccounted for. Let us look into the security, safety and security for the nation, right? And where you have Oristram, right, also, right, touting that they spend billions. No other administration in the history of Jamaica had spent the amount of money that we had spent. Now, billions spent on security. What we have today, we have police who need vehicles. We still have dilapidated police station. You have police who need body vests. And most of all, as it relates to what can prevent extrajudiciary killings, police body cameras needed. Right? And we have seen none of that. So you ask yourself the question, okay, where you think matters get worse is also, which is nothing strange, that the office of the Prime Minister also involved as it relates to massive losses.
Oh no, look. This is the JCF. This is what we have to go through here in the JCF. Yeah, man. Quality service. Yeah, man. See there? See there? Quality service in the JCF.
Yes, Barra. Now I give them at the same time, because we never have a That's why I talk knock it.
All right.
Yes.
So there it is. So when you look, who mix up in the bangarang, the thieving, the nepotism, the cronyism, the skullduggery, no surprise here, the Prime Minister's office. The office of the Prime Minister. So then if the office of the Prime Minister can't set a better example as it relates to proper accountability of its appropriation account. Now, this is the Prime Minister. People, Jamaica, wake up. Wake up, Jamaica. Let me shake you up. If the Prime Minister, who is at the helm of our political system, right, is at the helm of the political ecosystem of Jamaica, and the Prime Minister lost the ability to have proper accounting as it relates to the office of the Prime Minister. How do you expect of the Prime Minister that other sectors are going to be properly managed? Now, let me say this to the Auditor General. That the Auditor General can relook, do all what the Auditor General wants to do. The Auditor General findings will not change. Will not change. And so then when you have the Jamaica Labour Party spin doctors who came out and said, no, right, it is not that $3 trillion missing, and they don't want to call it that it is unaccounted for. And so then what sort of term that we need to use to identify, right, money that just simply cannot be accounted for and will never be able to be accounted for? What is it that the Jamaica Labour Party administration want us to identify that gap or the missing amount? How do they want us to define it? Now, when I look on all of this, all of the bangarang, right? You see a situation where you have a member of parliament, right, who sits in the parliament, right, and getting contract as it relates to 2 buildings where he rented out to the government. Look at the nepotism. And where the government find taxpayers' money to pay him pretty near over 400 million. Now you tell me. So let me ask Mocha again. So Mocha, you didn't hear that? Mocha, are you not going to investigate that? Mocha.
This Byron, I done this. So you have you a mattress.
Yes.
So a building, nobody know it. 4.8 million per month. Gone over 2 years now. Them friend them a give money. If you take 4.8 million and spend it in some school or in some getaway, some youth to build some little things, 4.8 million per month. You know how much money that per year, man? You know what that could do for the people, them, man? You know, so no wicked and Holness.
I mean, them wicked.
We're not criminal, you know.
We're not Jamaican people. And but Wayne, what we're appealing to, the level of ignorance amongst the masses. Because here what happened now. Some of the ignorant people, right? That's why education is important, you know.
Yes.
They don't see that what Andrew Holness administration is doing is affecting them. So let me tell them now. Let me talk to them tonight. The word inflation, right? I am wondering if they know what that means. So let us teach them with. Now, when the country, right, seek a loan from the IMF or seek a loan from the World Bank or seek a loan, right, from China, it simply means that when the loan process, it simply means that the Jamaican dollar is going to devalue, right? And the foreign currency appreciate because you borrow X amount of money. Now, what makes matters worse in any society, right? And where you can have an economic shock, right, in any society, is when you see the government is on a borrowing spree like Jamaica Labour Party administration had done, and also on a corruption spree of stealing. It simply means that when they steal, it makes it difficult for the loans to pay down. Now, on what Nigel Clark had done, right, is to be a good, solid debt manager for the IMF. When I talk about fiscal discipline, what is fiscal discipline? If anyone Google it, it will tell you that fiscal discipline is where you try to, in simpler terms that you can understand what is fiscal discipline, is where that society try to reduce borrowing,
yes,
and improve on manufacturing. And so then
balance your book.
Exactly. So and within that, you try to balance people's life.
Yes.
So remember that when you process a loan from the IMF, it comes with austerity measures. And what it does simply means that it affects certain social programs. So the government has to make certain adjustments. So if the government used to fund certain program, they have to reduce the funding, right? And some of those programs are eliminate funding from some of those programs in order, right, to pay the loan. What Nigel Clark has been doing, right, is not paying down the loan per se. Is servicing the loan. Now, as a result of servicing the loan, let us show the evidence in terms of servicing the loan and where the loan is not paying down. So he's paying money on the interest. But he's paying it, right, with a larger amount. So if he was supposed to pay $10, you understand, monthly, Nigel Clark is paying now $12 monthly.
He'll pay like $100 if he pay $10, that him don't hurt you, brother.
Exactly. So,
yeah.
So what that does, right, it further affects other social program or affects the government inability, right, to enhance the social life, you understand, of the country. And as such, right, with all those austerity measures that also, right, inject, right, inflation. Now, if you are not producing, right, to generate adequate foreign currency, right, and you are importing more than how you export, that's simple common sense. You don't have to be, economist. Simple common sense. If you are importing more than how you export, right, it simply means that you are going to have a trade deficit in the negative.
Of course.
If you are exporting more than how you're importing, you understand? Of course, you are going to have a positive trade-off because you are now making money within the economic space. You are making money. But when you are exporting, when you are importing more than how you export, you fall at a trade deficit and it has some reaction as it relates to inflation. Goods will be going up. And so then you realize that the economy is in a decline. So just imagine that in terms of the economy in decline, and coupled now with that, the level of pilfering from the treasury makes it worse. Now remember, right, let us show the people that when Nigel Clark took this over, right, as it relates to even from Ardley Shaw time, so we judge from Ardley Shaw and speak about Nigel Clark from 2018 to 2021. Ardley Shaw from 2016 to 2018. So let us talk about those two financial ministers.
But members say, Nigel Clark, I didn't tell you, so he did enough agreement, the man him that work on the Ardley. So him did it from 2016, I mash up the place with the man Ardley. Till him take over the rule, They let me know. So Nigel Clark, I forget the full breadth of everything. I'm not good, Him talk about it the other day too,
Yes.
And talk about it, yes. Remember I was the one who, yes, you.
Yes.
Yes,
so when you look at that, right, you realize that, okay, when the Jamaica Labour Party administration took it over, I just want people to Google it. You understand? What was the national debt? The national debt was $2 trillion. $2 trillion was the national debt. Now, since the Jamaica Labour Party had taken that over, right, they increased the debt to $2.3 trillion. In spite of spending millions of dollars in servicing the debt. Right? The fact of the matter that the debt is climbing because they keep on going back and borrow. And so now the debt, by now, supposed to even more than $2.3 trillion. So there you go, that we are now facing a predicament. The economy has been climbing. When Portia Simpson was in power, what was the poverty rate? The poverty rate was think about what, 12%, 10 to 12%?
I think it somewhere around there.
Yeah, roughly about 10 to 12%. Somewhere in between. What is the poverty rate today? The poverty rate, you understand, we are looking at roughly about 22 to 23%.
Yeah, man. More.
So the poverty rate increased by 100% under the Jamaica Labour Party administration. So then I am saying all of this to say this. Andrew Holness, by any performance measure, would have failed, his administration would have failed the people of Jamaica miserably. Miserably. And one of the fundamental situations that happened as it relates to the declining of the economy is the level of corruption. If we did exempt corruption, if it was the People's National Party still in power, in exemption of the corruption, right? That $3 trillion that is unaccounted for wouldn't be unaccounted for. So just imagine, and let me leave this. Just imagine our national debt is $2.3 trillion. And imagine that the amount of money unaccounted for is $3 trillion. $700 billion. We could pay off our debt and have $700 billion to spare. That now could now catch up in the surplus and would lift up Jamaica. You understand? Bring down inflation and everybody's social life, you understand, would be better off today. But no, right? We take the man who talk about clocks, the man who pretend that he's with the people because he's wearing clocks. Can you imagine, Wayne, that a man use clocks and damage the entire economy? No, sir. Go on melting pot.
But if a man, Baron, say if a man can buy a vote and pay a box food and him boss about to tell him they're going to prison. Nobody know hold him. Him still around. You know,
Yeah.
him pay for this and pay for that, them the $5,000 and a box food. A country can't run so. You know, no respect, you know. And them are open their tell us I pay this, them do criminality. Right? Them do criminality. Openly come tell me this. We see it in St. Thomas, you know, when them beat up the man up there, you know. Dean Jones, you know. And drive gun, that's a legal position of fire. Because you can't drive your gun for a man like that and beat him up to him to come out and place. See? Your life never in no danger. Man kick him up and then drive him gun and run down man. And yesterday my counselor up there. And then them have a criminal one up there. So what on Mocha? So you don't know about it. You don't know about the one there by St. Thomas.
You know.
You don't know about the drugs that are all over the place. Go ask the businessman them up there, you know. Everybody know about him up there, sir. Don't have the thing like, but you don't know about the mayor in a St. Thomas. Nobody not tell you no. You don't know about him. Him and a mayor, you know. That and a mayor. So how him up there, sir, nobody not reach up. I don't understand this. So I want to go over there, so I want to leave Kingston and St. Andrew there, so I want to leave that one there. I'm going to leave a mayor up there, so. Eh? No man get rid of no jobs or nothing, man. Now what?
No, sir.
I'm going to do, man. Eh? Them have criminal around, opposers, all kind of things right now in Jamaica. Real criminal. Yes, that's what I tell you, said it's a corrupted government. Because them choose who them are choose, you know. Whether you are juggies, whether you are this, whether you are this, when they're not smuggling, them put them take and put and turn in what them want to turn in. Go talk to St. Thomas people. You will hear about the one up there, sir. Go and go talk to them. Yes. You understand? And by the way, Nigel Clark him are the worst finance that minister. Because when them depend we and them depend the best, the country in a recession and know I will matter about you about this. See them to start and just put out the thing, you know. It declined in the third quarter minus 5.3%. The whole country. And them say them have depend on this now when must start this to try to kick back the economy. It flat, it gone.
Exactly.
Recession, it gone. So if him did that do good, that mean him know about the recession already, you know. And starting them that give him this him know, you know. But yesterday him cover it up before him run away. Yes? I remember him all about money, you know.
Yeah.
Him all about money, because money run away. The job where him have the money run away, money go turn water boy. So that's why you know say that it's a criminal government, because the more them get, the more them want. Agreed, make him run away too. I know that. Him afraid that the people them gonna find out, so him try to keep him name, him try to run away long time. So him run away like jail. Never been Jamaica no good. And Andrew, what them things that them the perfect the PR. Big dirty thinking bug life and all, right? But tell me what, we fling a monkey wrench in them business. We fling a monkey wrench in them business. In a bicycle and pop out the spokes. The spokes. Exactly. Because of this, Andrew did want to use and go through, you know, the lies and not go say, we in the work. You understand?
Exactly.
Hey man, that's what I want to run by. Oh, by the way, let me just say something to you. We see Andrew Holness, the pan play. Palwell. Yes, we see somebody that's not bashing. Don't bash it. Because I see Andrew the pan play. I'm going to play a video and show you something. Andrew definitely go over there support. Remember over there, you know, remember Philip Palwell live in our constituency, you know. Yeah, he can put right. So him go over there. Philip Palwell are there. And hear him now. Well, we're bucking each other. You know when they take it and put it up. JLP. Some of them do is beat him up. Because they know PMP are a course.
Yes.
Yeah? And I try to do something, say yes. But Palwell, listen now. Even if you have Palwell there, you cannot win East Kingston and Port Royal. There is no way. There is no path. Because the people them out there have sense. So it don't make sense. But if I hear them cause Palwell, I'm see. Look on this. I'm going to show you the proof, you know. Him go over there for go cut something. Remember the man named Constituency, you know. Them live, by the way. Oh, them live. But here, look what him do here now. Look here. No joke. Look here. Now show you what Andrew do. And then them put it up. So Mrs. say, oh, and this one I do. Can them go out there and Big Mama put up the thing, you know. Look here again. Look here now. Look here. Here where I said to him. Look here.
We keep beating each other. Like you intend to come over to this side.
You know, we keep meeting each other. And tell me who put it up. Look how who put it up now. Remember how Paul will live east, you know. And then Constituency, look at now. The policeman, they were see. I don't know look there. Jamaica labor, wow. So these are the things. I'm going to see Big Mama run with these things. So when they look somebody for rubber half pants and I say, yeah, play Palwell, because we hear the people them say, boop, Palwell, you know. So them do it again. It never need a joke, you know. And like Palwell gone out of him constituency, you know. So Mrs. say, oh, yeah, people talk to you and go to Andrew. Remember, say, you can't go in away, you know. Remember, you can't go in a free way when we talk, you know. Yes? You can't trick nobody about that. So you notice what him do? We keep meeting each other. And him say it, but him allow them to put it up. And I use the face of Palwell because them here people say the one Palwell, you don't know so Andrew Holness can't be up to we say it. So him do it again and use the word we keep bucking into ech other. The man then I'm out them live. And I'm constituency. So we have to know, make sure go over the kind of body him shouldn't even over there with the water thing there, you know, none at all, you know. See? But him go over there and say this and then them view it and put it up. Can he must have said, yeah, we'll learn something now, you know. Man, I will listen now. Yes, Palwell, and you hear the whole Titans now. I run out from Palwell, wicked. And the whole of them are a thing man that boss now. Yeah, man, if I could have do the whole of them this. No, Robert.
No, Robert.
They are playing on a partner, but I tell you, say, on a fool, so. Eh? On a fool, so. You notice, and them have put it up for promotion, you know, brothers. Them have put it up for promotion. I hope them live in them constituency. And you make sure go up there. If you man shop him, I want to go there 2 or 3 more times and take him. Say, I can see Paul with the for work and thing. Then him do it again. But Andrew, I run your way. You too enough now. See? And him utter the word and then put it up. You see what the man melting pot?
Yeah, man.
Eh? So you see sometimes you know playing at them little thing, you know, no game when them a play. Yeah, let me tell you the next thing when them try. Them try use PMP thing too. When them put on PMP, and when them go by the PMP, when them do them come and them bash the JLP, like them want to take, but them I use member of parliament or use somebody name in front of them thing, and then when them bash now, that mean they may take a picture and say, yes, I am in a mobile man of the wilderness. And then they use and you hear, so boy, I carry out because this, it not gonna work neither, you know. That not work on here, you know. We are checking out, you know, be careful. Every move a bug life and fish less and Andrew them around. Remember, you know, where they are, you know. Don't do it on here. Nah, it not gonna work on here, so yeah. Run here, so be a man there, run here, so don't play with the run here, you know.
All right.
You know, do stupidness run here, so you know. Remember this one, you know. Be a man there, it's no apology. Be a man there, it's run here, so. First in study. Uno can't trick around here, yeah? You could just tell you no loud and clear without no apology. Alright? Yes, melting pot.
Yeah, I want to highlight some shortcomings in a few various critical ministry. And, you know, this is why we are seeing the result of what we are getting now right across the society. Now, when you look at that 85 million that was handed out to a loved one by the Ministry of Health, tough tongue. Now, you see where that $85 million could have benefited several hospitals with nebulizer. That alone, I don't even want to touch the amount of money with them say them spend on a burial hospital, you know. Just that 85 million. So you get shortcomings. Yeah, okay. And that what, you know, eventually took a man's life. A man that, as we heard, advocate for these equipment to be a part of the hospital. Now let's move away from that and look at crime. While we are seeing the upsurge in brutal and gruesome murder being carried out by the police who are part of the state, it's simple because the Ministry of National Security told them that they should, you know, kill them and don't bring them in. Don't even take them to hospital. So we are seeing the result of that. When we move further on and we look at education, the now leader of the regime party previously held that office, that ministry rather. And he, in the inception of his tenure in that ministry, carried out a major fraud as it relates to the finance. Now he also, you know, unpicked an advisor to him at the time. And that advisor, by some former miraculous appointment, ended up now, after he becomes prime minister, as the Ministry of Education. And we see what happened. So we are looking at all these various, you know, shortfall. Now moving further on, let's look at the Ministry of Finance. Now, when you look at who was appointed to be the Ministry of Finance in the personnel of Nigel Clark, one for a better word, let's call him Nigel Clark. No, he had various affiliation with Andrew Holness, you know. Yeah? Long before he become Minister of Finance. And he also worked on the Ardleshire. And when you intertwine Ardleshire and the Crime Minister, Brother Nancy, the regime leader, they have a lot of affiliated, you know, circumstance. So this is why Nigel Clark mash up Jamaica economy. Because Nigel Clark, they'd have to do the things that Andrew Holness regime likes, which is corruption. What Nigel Clark did in terms of the IMF agreement was to pay a higher mortgage and the interest rate, so to speak. So he pay more than he should. Not paying down the debt, just the interest, which will facilitate them to keep going back and borrowing. Now all these money that they're borrowing of people, we don't see where these money have benefited Jamaican and Jamaica. These money that they kept borrowing, they kept chopping the money. This is how the regime enriched themselves. And this is why Andrew Holness has so much bank accounts, 28. Because with all these vast, staggering amount of money that they get from IMF and from other sources as it relates to even when we have disaster and money come to the country as grant. What Andrew Holness and the regime did is chop these money and share it up, and Andrew Holness funnel it into these banks' account. So it is a colossus consensus of corruption that Andrew Holness carry out in various ministry. If you can remember, Agintai make mention of the money out at the airport, where Andrew Holness tell him specifically what to do with it. Now that money amount up to 450 million Jamaican dollars, you know. Yeah? And Jamaica, we don't hear anything about that money. That money has not been returned back to AAJ. That money is lying somewhere in one of these 28 bank accounts. So when you have a regime leader who control the members that serve him and who specifically requires these members to be corrupt personnel to rip off the country, then you know all of them been sharing the loot. They get the percentage. Tough Town get 15%. And then, you know, him put it in a so-called rice business. Yeah? No, as a Ministry of Health, you know. As a Minister of Health, you know. Rice shouldn't be the order of the day for you in a Tough Town. Because that's a more diabetic patient you know, breed up in the place. That's not healthy. Yeah? And the fact of the matter that you give one of your so-called better half 85 million Jamaican dollars for a program called Market Me, which at the time, Market Me shouldn't be at the top of your priority. What should be at the top of your priority was to make sure know that the hospital are running well and functioning properly as it relates to they having the required tools within the hospital to care for the patient when they turn up there. You should be looking at getting Cornwall Regional Hospital done on time as it relates to the budget that was prescribed at the outset. But all your Andrew Holness do is have Cornwall Beryllium Hospital as a pilot project to channel the money through and rob it. We don't just have it there now. You think that we could have built 2-3 more hospitals from the time when I refurbished Cornwall Beryllium Hospital? Real government could have built 3 more hospitals, state-of-the-art hospital as well.
Hospitals, we just get something.
And that same $20 billion budget we're racked up now.
So we just get a thing just now. Hospital and next baby just dead. You just say that, Twitter. Not just baby just dead hospital. When today I went, Twitter. I'm never gonna play this. Because this is you just say hospital, brother.
Well, it's what I'm talking about. The power of the Almighty are moving through the message.
Yeah. Let me turn it up.
Spokesperson, Health and Wellness. I want to take a moment to address the tragic passing of Alexandriana Jones, a young child whose life was lost under deeply distressing circumstances at the Bustamante Hospital for Children. First, I must extend my heartfelt condolences to her grieving family and acknowledge the profound emotional toll this has also taken on the hospital's staff. However, I must speak to the Ministry of Health and Wellness's response, or rather, the lack of a comprehensive and empathetic one to this tragedy. The ministry has yet to address a critical allegation raised by the family that their daughter had passed long before they were informed. Let me be clear. Confirming or denying this does not require the family to submit a formal written request as was stipulated by the release. It requires compassion and urgency. Instead, the ministry's response has been cold-hearted, devoid of empathy, and has only deepened the trauma for all involved. It is deeply troubling that the child, while in critical condition, had to be transported to another facility for an emergency CT scan before her treatment could proceed. How can the leading pediatric hospital in the Caribbean performing complex heart and brain surgeries not have such a vital diagnostic tool? This unacceptable gap in resources creates preventable delays that cost lives. I ask, how many more lives will we lose before the ministry prioritizes patients and staff over costly, delayed infrastructural projects that seem to benefit no one? The Minister of Health's silence on this issue is deafening. Families, hospital staff, and the Jamaican public deserve transparency and accountability. The ministry has a moral obligation to provide clarity about the circumstances of Alexandriana's passing and to ensure that her family and our country receive a full and honest explanation. This is not just about one family's tragedy. It is about the standard of care that every Jamaican child deserves. The time for action is now, and anything less than full transparency and decisive action is unacceptable.
Right. Unacceptable.
It we are talking about, man. It we are talking about, with Tough Tongue and how him, deal with the money that, projected for the health sector. Tough Tongue robbed the money. But Tough Tongue robbed the money based on the fact that the regime leader contrived with him. Like me around the country, your ministry gets certain amount of money, we allocate now the budget for spending at your sector, Me now have to ask you a question, my eyes will show me and tell me, say you work or you not work. So Tough Tongue not really chop the money off of him own initiative, Tough Tongue was seduced by the regime leader to chop the money.
But Andrew is Mr. Matthews La.
Yes.
What's your name? The one with the snake now. What's your name? What's your name, people?
Methuselah.
No. What's your name, man? Medusa.
Yeah.
Medusa with this. Medusa.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Yeah. Come on. None of these various ministers them can't do nothing for them own, you know. If them know them have a real leader, we are going to scrutinize them, you know. Them work accordingly to the leader that preside over them. And if the leader is a chopper, what you expect them to go do? The vast amount of money we cannot be accounted for under the Ministry of Health umbrella, you know. Send shockwave right across the length and breadth of Jamaica. And the ripple effect even felt in the diaspora. Because we have to have concern now, because we have people back home. And we have ourselves, me one day, even take a trip down there and have to end up in seeking help from these facilities. But these facilities are non-existent. And they are non-existent because of this regime. Right. So all the babies that are losing their life, the pregnant mother that are dying in child's birth, the citizens, senior citizens that are falling off our chair, the people that are lying on cardboard in these institutions, the workers who are migrating for upward mobility in their life and their career, is a result of the regime. Because tough tongue is only what you call now a tributary. The mainstream of Andrew Holness, you know. The mainstream of Andrew Holness.
Andrew Bix and Andrew. I had the mainstream for you.
I'm at the mainstream. Tough tongue and the rest of them are just tributaries.
I call him a stream of the main ocean.
Well, you know, but when you have weak and pathetic men wanting to be wannabe representative for the people of the country, because they are wannabes. They are not real people. They are not real representative. They are wannabe representative. Yeah? Who have no moral compass. Who has no care in their heart. No empathy within their soul for the people them. This is what you get from a regime. A regime government will not care for the citizen. We have to go back to real democracy government. This is key and very fundamental to Jamaica retaining or restoring the name Jamaica land we love. Currently, we're not in love with Jamaica because all these atrocities that we see committing on a daily basis in Jamaica, where the policemen have no arresting power anymore, all they have is killing power. We're not seeing anybody being arrested anymore. When police turn up anywhere near you, know, you have to think about being killed by these people that's supposed to be serving and protecting you and giving you reassurance. They are the murderers. You understand? And why they can carry out these level of atrocity is because Dr. Crab told them to. Jamaican, let's not forget it. This was a mandate given to these men by Dr. Crab.
But melting pot. But you touch a thing after me I try cool. Hey people, you know what it is? Because me get me angry, you know. Not hungry, you know. I'm angry. You know, and because you see when I see them go with the police and the soldier them and I see what Andrew do, and then I really feel angry, you know. Feel vexed in spirit. And then I try cool on me, you know, like a bar and the damn girl, we did leave it to melting pot. But melting pot got touch a next thing. Whenever does can say them the police them and not arrest again. So but let me say something to you know, melting pot. So what to that guy when named Richard Stewart, when them put up this, so no, me don't want to get angry again.
Jesus Christ, nobody touch that one, brother.
Let me just ask Richard, you know anything about Wani and fall death? You know anything about any death squad? You know anything if you did dead down on an Huntsville and then you'd have a death squad or anything? You just ask you know. I want you answer me with an honest heart. You know anything about fall where get down your death squad and who get the order? Your death squad? You know anything about it? You know anything about Wani? The same death squad will take it out. So when you are do this or no, if you control the thing. Can you do this and you know see the police them start the death squad thing? It'll lead to you have to move, you know.
Him have to move, man.
You can't stay there, you know.
Him have to move.
People, you know, some other people get the blame about 1 year and 4. You know anything about it? Eh? More you come out, come tell the people say that you did that on Huntsville. And come out, come deny the death squad. Can remember, me talk to people in the death squad. Me have the eagle. Yes, we fly the eagle. So I talk to people. No, listen. More you come out and come say tell me something and come tell me about 1 year and 4. Because I see I'm going to kill them too, yeah? Yes, please and thanks. Yeah? You're not supposed to do the right lesson. Remember, you know, I'm going to rule out something and fling it out too. You, number one, you can't, you know, me I try to calm down my head, you know. And melting pot could draw me out again, you know. Brother, in a night, I try to calm down my head and melting pot go lick out something, you know.
So when the program out for done at them time, they might fire burn, you know.
Eh?
When the program out for done at them time, they might fire ignite and a burn, you know, my brother.
Because boy, we just, because Byron said 2 things and draw me out and I try to cool out and now, because the program out to go initial and
cool out, man. We are the Titans, so you have to cool out, brother.
We got 100, but let me tell you something. We want him to come and tell you, you can't have a man like this. Because when you have a police force, serious thing now, you can't have a police force with criminal with badge and gun. We don't believe in that. We don't believe in a police force for have kill, for have death squad. Remember, you know, a taxpayer's money appear you. So every single Jamaican in this appear tax. Everybody have money tax. I mean, I got pay money for some man who's supposed to serve and protect to come kill my pitney or kill somebody for me and me not in that. Now work. Them decide who to live and who to die. That will stop. Them to go to prison for these things. You can't have a force and you have death squad within the force. I go around and kill people. Remember, Fraser them go kill the youth, you know. And them tell lie, you know, you're not about them case, you know. Or if you see them kill the white man, a death squad kill him too, you know.
Definitely.
Them still have it police are going to kill.
Yeah, man.
The madman down there, so we see can't tell lie, but the video come out. Him never have no machete to chop off him father when them kill the man. Shoot him now back and let them walk with them still continue shoot him. You can't have a country around like this. The country is superpower. Not even China. In China, you see the police man run up and down with rifle. And remember, what kind of country down there, Byron and live? It's not a
communist country, man.
A communist country.
A communist country.
In a Vietnam. And not Vietnam, in a North Korea. You see them run up with M16 and run up and down and run them people? No. And them have nuclear.
Exactly.
Who should have rifle? War rifle, they're on battlefield right now in the UK and call M16 and them thing the war rifle. And I eat them around up and down with right now. When man people get shot, that's why so much going in the place. Yeah? You can't have the death squad going there. Can't have it. We now put up with this, it will change. Yeah? Them man, the way them kill people, it come like it's a joke thing for them. Them just
a joke thing.
And them just kill. That's hey, them thing have to stop, you know. Them it will stop. Yeah? I remember every man, you know, your end belongs to the dirt. No care what you do. Stop do them thing and make man live them life. You understand? Because the police, them they get gun for us, come and just kill you if them don't like you, so you know. And then pick pan you, you know. Them are break laws. Them have to straighten out. And that's the thing that have to straighten out. And the last thing, because I make melting pot finish up this. But let me tell you Byron and lie. You know why the criminal PSOJ don't open them mouth with the anti-own this criminality? Because them edit. Remember, you know, the amount of land them get, the amount of thing, and them free for run them cook and the money. Cause them the money laundering too, you know, brother. Them are the money laundering too. So them low Andrew Ferrin. You notice what the PNP government in the Bayern. Every minute they run out. The PSOJ, we. And you notice how them quiet okay yesterday with that corruption. The other day with Andrew won this, so then come out and say, you know, Trim carry that quote if it does, you know, make the quote. You can't tell me that not thinking PSOJ. You are shit.
You're mad, man. We don't listen to PSOJ, you know. We don't listen to PSOJ because them are garbage and them facilitate corruption.
Them are corruption. And them are
you understand?
Yes.
Yeah.
Enough of them in that juggies. And enough of the minister they mix up too. The one of them with the bag of coke who are coming at the place. Remember, you can't have 80 million US and you go pipe and two get to you. Oh, it's reaching there. Come by plane. It up this and then go bus it. You know why it bus by run? A US seat, you know, and they them have to bus it, you know.
Them have to bus it.
Them have to bus it, you know.
Them have to bus it.
Yes. You understand?
Now US that track it, you know. US that track it, man. No, so them have to bus it.
I'd say you know a big boy thing, but if a youth thief for Hakim end up a prison and them have to, we have to come out, come chat and then let him go. Yeah? Gigi have to give him pardon. Them lock them prison him. And the newspaper was that set as nastiness too. Because tell me what, man and woman in a fight, them cock up and push them up the paper. You can't get a visa again, you know. Who the man that fight and the man that cut them on the and them they are that they put out. But the right thing when them investigate and put out and I love it. Big dog PSOJ, the media house and the dirty criminal and your Holness led criminal government. When them hijack Jamaica, them mash up the place. It needs to straighten out. We don't chat. Yes, like.
Yeah. Yeah, so when we look on all these things, you know, you as me say the man them now do not arresting again. The man do murder them a deal with murder.
True.
Because Dr. Crab, Dr. Big Stinking Crab, yeah, order them too. You understand? So when we have to call upon our civil society to raise them voice in concert at the high level of murder that has been conducted by the state. You understand? And just to compound matters worse, them draft a man we are run a dead squad for a couple of years well. Richard Stewart from Huntsville and shove him up in a very high profile, sensitive part of the JCF. I'm in charge of crime division, you know. Yeah. So when this man here we have so much dopey I follow him. When him going at the office and him a give out order, I be a killing him, I go tell them and them to do. That's why we see the upsurging murder by the police force. Because Richard Stewart been haunted by ghosts, civilian ghosts. When take them life innocently, when I take all hit, money pay to him and take hit, cause so them operate and take out Jamaicans, civilians, and going around with a 9mm gun, we are show up at all crime scene, say them recover. Not no go so people. And we have to dismantle the whole operation where we see a go on. This guy here cannot be serving at that level in the GSTF. He's a murderer. And he's not a policeman. He's a criminal with badge and gun. And no taxpayers are supposed to pay a criminal with badge and gun. If he get kicked out of the force, real investigation for done upon him. And if he try and put behind the bars. That's why sometimes I wonder what we really are talking about when we don't want to have hanging. Them and the hanging half a 3 square, you know. Yeah, man. Because gunshot and rope round your neck. I see him dead. Stabbing, I see him dead. Me them want try to compromise gunshot and stabbing. And I want relate to stabbing as, you know, critical areas of crime. Them just a gunshot. You understand? Any death a death. From it being carried out. Yeah. In a crime manner, it's death. We can relate to self-defense circumstance, you know. But we can't relate to malicious crime where people use force of nature because they have power bestowed upon them by National Security Minister. No, we're not going to relate to that. So we want the people in Jamaica who have to rise up in a man and get strong in a man. Remember, you know, we are push the fire around yourself, you know. But we want to come out now on some form of demonstration, man. Too much gruesome murder in Jamaica in the last 30 days. Me never know 2025 would have kick off with too much blood. You understand? And me I tell you some of the things them, it's like them want to traumatize me, you know. But treat have to be a part of when me I deal with it. Me have to take note of them things and watch them, you know. But them not look good, me I tell you people. Me see them run up a Laverne Tavern there. And them take out a youth. Yeah. I try to get some info, but I don't get it yet because that individual, you know, that features bring a bell to me. You understand? But when I hear from a family member who, you know, state certain thing in the report, that youth is a peaceful youth. Yeah? Them operate a business. And the police them don't seem to have any info on him. They're even asking what type of work him did. If they have real info on him, they would know say him operate a shop. But him get 3 shots inside him dwelling. Now if you go in a man dwelling, and none of you no get injured by a gunshot, but not talk about no find Taurus 9mm with 6 live round. If that man is a killer, him and have a shootout, you know. One of them have to get shot, you know. So we know no kill the man cold blood up a Laverne Tavern. You understand? And one come use the same 9mm gun as evidence same a gunman. But none of them no get shot or injury, you know. And him no fire 1 round. I want to tell him people them don't even know say on murder him. The aunt door on got window on knock pan. Cause it's like 3 houses in the yard are in close proximity. I want to search out till you find the victim. You understand? I want to do rather than if you don't have anything for the man, arrest the man that we are talking about. Make the law take its course. This turning up of people resident and a murder them in a cold blood in front of all them relatives, it will stop. You can't be that heartless in yourself. That's you can't realize and think say even when you not kill a person in front of other people, it a traumatize them. That mash them up. For a long time, some people can't recover from it because every minute's a flashback. You see a family member being brutally murdered by the regime led by Andrew Holness. Hey, me I telling you, when the real right time coming up, no found a big boy have to go to prison, you know. No found no. Because no play investigation can't take place, you know. Real investigation are going to take place under the People's National Party administration. Because them hear how I plea and how I cry. And when Josh and we have to do our work, we have to get deliverance. We people them have to get deliverance. And justice have to be the order of the day. It can't be anything else. No hanky-panky things. So no, the whole of run up and down and a tremble and a quake in a Nazi boot, you know. Somehow we are suck the milk and out of Jamaica, you know. We now go vomit when the right time come. No joke business, not too weird about it. Because right now I'm here speaking and I'm passionate the earth at the high level of injustice and atrocity where my people are feeling in Jamaica. And some nasty thinking dirty big boy. Yeah, just sit down and I milk the country and kill out the people them. And we not going to stay here so as titans and alone. We don't have a long reign in this dominance. We won't assemble around no. And we have to deassemble it. We have to deassemble this dominance of this regime. And we have to hold on accountable to the highest and apply the highest level of maximum prison time pound and retreat the wealth. Take it back from you guys. Yeah, and make example of the landscape of politics in Jamaica. That's why Jah Almighty sent Markie G as the savior and the deliverer for the people in Jamaica and the country itself, Jamaica. Because we can't allow that regime to continue no more. There is no justice coming from this regime. All we can see is criminality right across the board. I mean, I talk to no local policeman, you know, where them a hand up on already, you know. Stop make this nasty shit them sending out because of an high command official to go kill ghetto youth. Stop it, man. A time feed stop now. One little island police them cannot have too much murder upon them statistic. Eh? They don't see the state on a state murderer. The state has become a place that murder its own citizen. I'm not here and I'm not, you know, gonna even have any excuse using the terms of context that I'm using tonight. I don't make any apology for it. Jamaica has become a place that your life, you quicker to lose it to the state than by being hit by a bus. The previous opposition leader before he becomes prime minister, he make reference to that terms. So I'm saying it now because it is plain and obvious that it's easier to lose your life at the hands of the state than being hit by a bus. And I yield back to a member of the panel in closing.
Let me just talk to that one here. Who needs a disgrace? Barrington Miller, piece of shit. Going up by your father testicle, yeah? You is a disgrace. You are Andrew fucking Holness and a fucking criminal. Come on, fire. Band same time. Look, you never tell you go chuck where if you go chuck. Run by your father testicle because that you love though. You piece of shit, yo. He's a goddamn, he's a, hey, them for charge of treason. Yes? Don't come on here, sir. We don't invite you no. We not shit. After we mash up that country and rob the country and do all kind of things. We never tell, hey, the one I never go to prison. You're one of them under disguise. It's a piece of shit. Yes, brother. Yes, sir. For wrap up, hear what you say before we wrap up this, you know. No, we don't put up, you know.
As it relates to, you know, what Melting Pot driving home, right? I mean, civil society has to get out, right? PSOJ, the umbrella group of church, right, as it relates to extrajudiciary killing that we have seen taking place, right? I mean, in any democratic society, right, as it relates to law and order, we can't have the police just loose as it relates to extrajudiciary killing, right? And the thing about it is that in spite of all the extrajudiciary killings that we have seen, right? So many evidence of this, right? And it seems like it's becoming no more consistent. It is even more alarming that the government is not addressing it. We have not seen where the Commissioner of Police, the Minister of National Security, and in extension, the Prime Minister, right, come out and speak on the issue, right, to show that, okay, all right, this is a zero tolerance situation in terms of extrajudiciary killing. So we have not gotten anything from the respective authorities. And so then it will more than likely would indicate to the society that the government, in agreement with, extrajudiciary killing. We have seen plain where persons being handcuffed, right? And in spite of how the person might be behaving, right? We are a civil society, right? And, providing that the police get the necessary workshop or the necessary training, would want to believe that the police, right, should act appropriately in terms of the apprehension of any person or restraining of any person. However, we have seen many other times in terms of police dealing with situation that arrogance, right, becomes the lead. You can't allow yourself so that, ignorancy, is counteracting your intelligence, right? And, your behavior is just being arrogant and, aggressive. Now, when you look at a situation that could be prevented, where you have someone handcuffed, so it limits the person movement to some extent, right? And you are close by in terms of that close combating situation. And so if you have to shoot him, which obviously you didn't have to, right? Why not shoot him in the leg? That is the question, You have two policemen, right, in the process of apprehending the young man in St. Elizabeth, right? And if the police believe that, okay, all right, they have to shoot him, as it relates to, my observation that they didn't have to, if they have the proper workshop and know how to restrain the person, right, being handcuffed, and kill the person in a handcuff is obviously number 3. That is clear, number 3. And to make matters worse is that the government show the lack of care, and where these very same policemen got off the case free. So then it really sent a shocking message through the society that, the government doesn't care. And here it is in terms of election season, that the very same government, right, is seeking a 3rd term, right? Now, you have to really put this thing under the microscope, right? And these issues just continue to be happening, and, no one getting any justice, right? And I mean, any government, whether the PNP or the Jamaica Labour Party, right, as it relates to extrajudiciary killing, that is something that you have to try to nip it in the bud. Make examples out of these policemen, because I know that if certain examples were setting, right, as it relates to, these sort of shooting, then I think, some checks, you understand, would have taken place. But it doesn't seem like the government care. And I'm just being truthful, right, as it relates to that. When my situation from, right, I want to draw at night now, because I've hit road earlier morning. So I am going to heal, my brother.
Yes, man, people, so I don't know, boy, I tell us, the place get hot, but say, At time for me go eat some big too and them things.
Exactly. So
and them things done. If we eat the road and them things, then we have so much things to do. So when I know Titans, when them call, we will not play. I'm never telling you, Andrew Holness, just stop right now. We're not joke with nobody. Nobody January. You have September for a call election. Just call the election and just move out of it. Just go, man. Yeah, we know not chatting with them either. So don't send no germs over here. Back up, run them. Back at this them and run them. Yes? So we not nastiness. Not come over here. We are only no friend. We not big friend. Remember when we are on here, so we are super dad and super granddads, you know. So don't come on here, sir. Yeah? Yes, I remember we not take talk. You can't have, when it's about disgrace, you can't have a prime minister with 28 bank account, with 473 million around through that, with the much property and the man that work for these things, and you come and talk about disgrace. That you let down is a piece of shit. Only not respect the country, none at all. Yeah. You get to you to do
some of them people that were not. Wait, let me just tell them that piece of shit there. Andrew no want you to sleep with, you know. You hear that? So come out of Andrew business, because Andrew no want you to sleep with, because you're on a road of Crawford. You understand? So piece of shit, just go wash your mouth now, pool of cesspool water, man. Piece of fucking shit and go one side, man. We don't have nothing good about you know. You understand? Because we don't see the state of the people in life in Jamaica, you know, as it relates to suffering, you know. And a man wealthy, you know.
Well on. I'm brother, we'll leave now, but look at the man drop half a chair. Listen, me have this, I mean I use it. And yesterday, me didn't know the man in it could have saved him life, brother. Them thing are cheap. Oh, you spend the most money of 700 billion and you still none of this to the hospital? Come on now.
But yet still man I run rice industry. Yet still the same man responsible for the hospital I run rice industry.
Don't come on here. This is goddamn disgrace. The little girl about the little child, look, she stained and bleed out and them kill she too.
Yeah.
Them in the hospital for look about nobody. People are getting shot right and center. No road, no people are crashing and hey, when you don't come on here, no.
You can imagine the island largest pediatric hospital, now have nothing.
Brother, I say me have more things in my house than the hospital of Jamaica.
Better them just go anywhere. Because sometimes, you know.
Titans, but they
Yeah,
are
man.
here.
Yeah,
Later,
man.
all
Yes,
right.
my brother.
Yeah, bless. The Titans, no two way about it. 1 a.m.
Start packing because you are going.